Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and hello, players.
Hello.
Yeah.
You know what I've just realised? I don't have any music playing, such as my hatred for this frickin' software. I just didn't actually bother playing any music for a change.
That's all right. Put some System of a Down on. Be fine.
I've put adventure music on. I think that'll do. All right, gentlemen. I believe you are due to be headed down south today, not to Yettenberg, but to Schwarbrald, to go and provide some relief. Now, it is up to you, but do you have anything in particular that must be done urgently in time before we fast track to your journey and arrival?
No.
Nope.
Okay. One thing I will point out to Mr. Matt, whose token is called Mr. Matt for some reason, to Jebediah, is you will be travelling by cart.
Okay.
Not by any means of water.
Alright.
So, one comment that I should make for your travels is that passing by Yettenberg en route, alongside the river on road, you can see that Yettenberg has a small amount of military flags set up within its walls. These are likely, at least from what you've heard from Sigurd, the reinforcements sent from his ally far to the east, over in Grunberg. These allies are somewhat cut off now, what with there being an orc war, which is causing issues with the southern province of Reichdorf. But it seems that they're doing a little bit of rebuilding, and I would say, Lothar, to you, you would hear the familiar sounds of troops training. Gentlemen, you arrive at Schwarbrald, fresh and ready. I would say come midday. It likely takes you 4 to 6 hours of cart travel, but for a change, it's not pouring with rain. Somewhat lighter, perhaps, than the map implies. In front of you is a broken gate. And there are no guard.
Right, boys. That's a great sign already.
Well, we know the place was raided.
Yeah,
Clearly.
no guard? Is there anybody left?
They might all be in the town holding a section against whatever's left. Up to.
Well, it's
Spread
not
out a
raining. That's if it's. Hang on, it's not raining. That would
Maybe we take a very quiet peek.
I will say you do not need to roll, but you can hear individuals within the town that are building. You can hear hammering of wood, probably with nails.
Undead don't do construction, do they?
No, they do not.
That's a relief.
Well, I mean, there was talk of a coach or something, but yeah, we don't want to go into that. So, yeah, I would say that whatever it is fucked off because it's not raining. That's usually a good sign.
Should we go in then?
Why not? We're here. Otherwise,
Sure.
it'd be a bit of a boring day, wouldn't it?
Yeah. See what help we can provide.
Just keep
Oh,
your
I'm
eyes peeled, though, for any undead.
Oh, I'm sure there's something that needs killing. There usually is. These things don't just go away. Right, so step on in.
Roger, roger. One thing that does catch your eye as you're stepping into this rather sorrowful looking place a few miles from the base of the mountains So there's crows not just lightly littered around, but near enough everywhere. At least one every few yards.
So, living crows, I assume.
Living crows. May make an average perception roll, Rex.
The bodies strewn around.
On the outside of the walls, no.
They might be alive.
Yeah. It's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. They've got
their
feathers.
wings flapping around. Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
they've got feathers, at least. So you don't know if they're reanimated crows or whether they're living crows. It's kind of hard to tell the difference when you think about it. Except for the eyes glazing over.
Have we seen any... so we've not seen any actual living people yet, right?
Not on the outside of the town.
Heard them.
And I will say that you have a group of guard with you, and I think you can remind me, but I believe you were taking some 10 guard or so?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put 3 tokens there for the sake of symbolism.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, you step inside. It is, I would say, a sorrowful sight, but even having been raided, it looks somewhat more cheery than Tarm still. Just about. You are greeted to the sight of a few villagers tending to some rather trampled, sorrowful-looking crops, and an individual in what looks like a particularly fine coat, shouting at a gentleman that the rafters of the repair work to a particular building are 3 degrees off. And the whoever he is talking to, doesn't look like a carpenter, is getting a scolding.
Right, well, he's the city engineer then.
He's the city something.
Yeah. I would choose a different word, obviously, but let's be nice. Oh, dear.
Well, should go and introduce ourselves, I suppose.
All right, then.
It is the, quote, engineer that notices you, and...
I give him a
Gentlemen,
wave.
I did believe that I had heard word from, Sigurd, if that is correct.
Yeah, Lord Sigurd of Tom.
He has a pipe in his hand and is furiously puffing, nervously looking around left and right. Looks somewhat jittery. Ah, yes, well, marvellous that you're here. Perhaps you can help with this beam for a start. As you can see, it's wonky. Looks to the gentleman.
Looks about 3 degrees, I would say. Off.
Yes, I've been telling the man. It's going to fall over. Not now, but obviously give it a year, maybe 2. Once the heavy snow falls, it'll all collapse. It's just not good enough.
All right, well, I suppose I could lend. Yeah, we could lend a bit of a hand there. We brought some bods with us. So let me introduce myself. I'm Rex Strangart.
Pleasure.
To my right here is Lofar.
Pleasure.
We have Henrik Jaeger, our merchant.
3
Good afternoon,
pleasures.
sir.
And 4.
And behind me here, did he bring the chair?
No, he did not.
I would
did
assume
not bring-
not.
I didn't know. I wasn't here at the start.
For
all right?
practicality's sake.
Yes.
All right, and this salty sea dog behind me is Mr. Jebediah.
Howdy.
A pleasure again. I appreciate assistance and so on and so forth. This is all very well good. I do hope we can have some professional carpenters sent over, because I'm just going to say mine are rather lazy.
Now, the man is probably doing the best he can, given the fact that he's just been battered by the undead. So, but we will take that message back to Lord Sigurd himself and see if he can spare a few of our carpenters, because, yeah, our ones, yeah, they're pretty good people.
Puffs on his pipe furiously. Well, It is nice to have you. Perhaps we can get to work. There are so many things that need correcting. Have you seen our wall?
We saw your gate.
Yes. Yes, I can't find a blacksmith anywhere. Our one's dead.
Oh, yeah, that tends to happen when places get raided.
Dead and walking. Not ideal.
Bloody. Oh, fuck's sake, another one.
Yes, no longer any good with a hammer.
Do you know what broke the gate down particularly?
I do believe it was sufficient force applied by 3 mules attached via rope to the metal of the gate. And upon receiving force, they henceforth moved, and the gate was no more.
I thought the undead attacked.
Well, yes, they did.
Undead have mules now?
Oh, well, no, but yes, they came with. All very complicated. Jones, get my manual. The man he's shouting at just runs away, like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I mean,
I'm looking very baffled by this.
I've heard of like undead gathering up and pushing. I've never heard of them pulling.
Well, some of them were pre-dead and some of them were post-dead. I'm not sure why the term undead would seem appropriate, given that they're no longer dead. So we had some combination of pre-dead and undead.
Wait, there were living things there?
Yes, and some were dead for a while, but then became undead.
Did the living things seem to be working with the dead things?
Yes. Well, they're the usual culprits, the pesky raiders.
Shit.
Always causing us bother. But normally, what we do is we give them a few coin, and they leave us be, or some grain, or a small sacrifice, and they go away, back to Schwarhoff. Filthy, wretched folk. This time, his companion arrives back. Here you go, sir. Grabs the manual. There was 4 of them. No, wait. 6 of them by 3 accounts and 4 of them by 2 accounts. And it would appear
Call it 5 then.
5, indeed. We could round upwards to be safe, but let's say 5 for now. And it would appear that they had 2 horses between them. One was brown with spots. The other was mostly black, but with white hair. So say the accounts. And they arrived with some undead who had formerly perhaps been dead. And before that, obviously, pre-dead. But at the time of arriving, they were undead. And they slew, 14 individuals who then turned from pre-dead to dead to then undead.
Right. Now,
And then they left.
I don't suppose that at any point did anybody say anything about a shadowy ghost type thing.
Oh, let me look from the memoirs. Excuse me. He's going to quickly flick through several pages of what looks like eyewitness accounts.
Just gonna, like, off to the side, loafer for a second. Be like, mate, have you heard of living and the undead fighting together?
No, there's not been any record of it so far. But it doesn't surprise me if you've got the likes of mercenaries maybe working with necromancers.
Well, the thing is, it's like, if it is who we think it is, then she don't like the living. So it can't be her. Gotta be another one, isn't it?
Who are we talking about? Or is this one of those things I ain't supposed to know?
This is one of those things you probably won't want to know until you won't believe us until you see it anyway.
Huh. Alright then.
So, like, yeah, unless she's changed her mind.
Well, she might be bolstering her forces with mercenaries.
Well, as you're the man of tactics.
Here it is!
Maybe you might know. Oh, all right.
Oh, hold on.
A master. There was reference to a master by one account, although I would say he had 2 ales that evening and a sausage, but I do believe that on 2 ales, given his massive physique, was probably reliable.
Okay, right. All right then. Well, anyway, let's just get started with some of the basic stuff. Maybe we'll take a look around.
By all means. I mean, if you see anything else that's as abhorrent as this, pointing to the beam that's 3 degrees out in effort to repair one of the buildings, do please let me know. I can't have this town falling apart.
You will be the first one to know, my friend.
Good.
If it's okay with you, I'll get my guard here to start setting up some defences around the entrances to the town.
Defences? Wonderful idea.
Yeah, how many guard have you actually got left?
Oh. 1.
Oh, fuck.
Explain why we didn't see them at the gate.
Yeah.
And at that point, the man who stood to his side's like, oh my god, I'm still alive. I can't believe it. in a sad way, like, why am I still here?
Hang on, I'm gonna go to her and, you all right, mate? Are you the guard that remains? Oh, you poor sod! Here, drink some of this. And I'll hand him a bottle.
He looks over at the at Edinger. Boss, may I drink while on duty? Well, the time is past 12. I do believe you're owed a lunch break, and that would... yes, but no more than 3 swigs.
He's only getting 1. Fucking hell.
Well, 1 even better. Takes a drink. Half of his mouth smiles. And he looks resigned and thanks you.
It's alright, mate. We've all been in that shit. We've been there too, man.
I used to have 4 guard. That means we need 3 more.
Wait, you only had 4 guards the entire town?
No, they were equipped. 2 of them had swords.
They just turned to Lofar at this point and just like, oh, my brain just has an aneurysm in front of him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shake my head.
Is that gate that we came in through, is that the only way in and out of town?
Oh no, there's 3 gates.
Hang on a minute. You have 4 guard. So just to break this down for a second, you had 4 guard for 3 entrances.
Yes. Oh, they don't man the entrances.
Well, what do they do then?
They help keep things tidy.
I get the feeling you don't know what a guard does.
Do not tell me how to be a noble.
All right, mate. Well, 4 guard it is. All right.
We keep a tight ship, and we're making promising progress.
Okay. Right. Well, I think we'll just get started on doing some general bits and bobs and.
Are the other gates? Are the other gates still intact?
Yes, they are. They were left open.
All right, that's good.
They were left open.
I'm sorry, you left the gates open?
Well, yes, that's how people can walk in and out of them. If they're closed and locked, then people can't come and go.
My mouth is just agape now.
But you let the undead in.
Well, we didn't know they were arriving, so we didn't have any watchmen.
Why don't you? I don't overstep my bounds, but could I propose that we possibly close the 2 gates that still function, just in case anybody returns with ill intent?
Well, we could, but productivity would surely decrease. And we're so close.
How's your productivity when everybody is dead?
Oh, it's decreased somewhat, but we'll get more. It is unfortunate, but...
And if the
Okay.
undead come back and kill everybody else, how's your productivity going to be managed then?
Productivity would likely be very adversely affected.
Indeed.
You're
As
right,
in
Rob.
non-existent.
Close the gates! No
That's what
one
I thought.
leaves!
All right. So Lofal, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking I'm going to divide my guard up and get them to go and guard the gates and get some defences in place.
All right. Cool.
Maybe we should have a look around, see if there's any likely recruits for maybe some watchmen and guardsmen.
Yeah, we could see. I'm sure that the kit from the dead people are still lying around somewhere. We'd probably just use that.
And if the Lord's alright with it, we could always leave some of our lads here to train some up.
Right. Lord Edinburgh, do you mind telling me what? So the people who died, what did you do with the bodies?
Oh,
Burying
nothing.
them.
They took care of themselves.
Oh fuck.
They got up and left.
Which
So-
direction did they go in?
Oh, back the way they came.
Which was...
Well, I would say, in the grand scheme of things, considering the angle of the River Tam from here and the road, I would say southwest, west, south. That way.
So about that way
South.
then. Yeah.
Okay.
About that way, and he sort of
Right.
points south.
The raiders make a camp in Schwarhof, the ruins. There's a small remnants of coaching in there. There used to be other buildings, and once upon a time a tower at the base of Dragonfell, but that's where they refer to when they come here, at least.
That
Wait,
sounds
is
like
that?
sounds like a lovely place to set fire to. Sorry, wait, carry on.
Normally we're on quite amicable terms. This is the first time they've brought the undead here. And taken they took the dead, or did they? They converted the pre-dead into dead and then left with the undead. So I guess they did us a favour.
They recruited your townspeople.
Yes, it would seem that way.
Were they stealing anything?
Only the people, as far as we're aware. Normally they like the coin or the grain or other things, but this time they didn't ask for a sacrifice or some sort of a goodwill gesture. Sometimes we give them carrots, other time grain, and I even gave them guard once.
And
That's
when-
why
when
we
you-
have four.
Guard.
Yeah,
All
they-
right.
Yes, well.
Okay. Yeah. I think we have enough to be getting on with while we're
Good.
here.
I have lots to do. I will be immeasurably busy. And mind for the crows. They keep making an awful racket, and I can't hardly think.
Yeah, I did notice all the crows, but the lack of bodies. So why are the crows here?
I do not know. But if you could tell them to go away, that would be marvellous.
My lord, were the crows here before the attack?
No. However, cause and effect should not be presumed. But, of course, there does seem to be some correlation with the dead and crows.
Thank you.
Right, now he's gone. Right, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, thanks for
Well-
talking some sense into him, Henrik.
Well,
Shutting them gates.
you know, lords, what can you say? Not the smartest bunch. These crows concern me.
Yeah, the crows are a bit of a weird one because they usually hang about for, well, bodies, but there are no bodies.
No, the bodies walked off. You'd expected the crows to follow them.
Exactly. So either they're expecting more bodies very soon, which means that we're probably going to get something in our face in a minute, or there's something else drawing them here.
Now, this might seem... It's from an old storybook, but in the story, well, the crows were the eyes and the ears of some black magician person. You don't
Racist.
think they're watching us, do you?
Well, considering Godbert's talents with animals, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my. Perhaps we shouldn't talk tactics out in the open.
They're not that close.
Okay.
Anyway, so that beam needs fixing. So now we're gonna have some guard on the gates. Yeah, I think maybe one of the things, try and fix that other gate. I guess. I mean, see if it can just go back on.
Yeah, I'd say until it's fixed, we could even just maybe prop it up. If nobody's watching, I mean, at the very least, whatever guard is here should be watching that gate. And if someone ain't watching it, we could maybe prop the gate up so that if something did come, it'd have to knock it over and we'd hear it.
Perhaps we could just, I don't know, jam it in place, tie it up, something. I don't know.
That's an idea.
And they've got 2 other gates to get in and out by.
We could end up barricading that gate entirely, just block it off.
That's not a bad idea.
That's probably the best idea out of the bunch, actually, because we're not going to be able to repair that bloody thing. We need Celeb down here to do that.
And let's face it, this isn't the biggest town. It would probably take you 3 minutes to walk round it to another entrance.
Well, with no bloody guard, yeah.
Well, yes, that too.
Nobody can interrupt them, yeah.
And at what point are we going to travel southwest?
Well, I mean, this place is totally defenseless. I don't like the idea of leaving without any guard, because these poor bastards all just turn into undead. Or dead. One of the two.
Further increasing our problems.
Yes.
Running over to you, Lothar, is one of your guard.
Sir, slight problem. We're going to go on watch outside of the gate, but only they've just locked it and they won't open it. They said nobody in or out.
Got to admire their dedication. Well, the other gate's broken, so they can't lock that one. Take the men out and go round.
Oh, right then, Lord.
And perhaps have a look at grabbing some materials for a barricade on that gate.
Barricading or... would you like us to do that before we leave or after?
Probably after.
Roger.
I'll get the other group that are guarding that gate to have a look for resources. You go and start defences on the other gates.
All right, my lord. Would you want anyone to climb up on a building and go on watch?
Well, there should be one person left over if you're in teams of 3, so if there's a building strong enough to do it, please do.
Just don't do any damage, because, you know, we're supposed to be helping.
And the Lord's already upset about that beam that is ever so slightly off, so tread carefully.
This is his evaluate.
I see a building that looks safe enough.
He's going through a roof.
Yeah.
Lothar, do any of your guard have any experience in carpentry?
They've got experience in building defences, but I wouldn't say necessarily carpentry.
I'm just wondering if they could help the town a little.
The building defences around it.
I think that's help enough, to be fair. Letting them get on with their rebuilding in peace, you know?
There's no point building these, returning these buildings to their former glory just for the undead to sweep back in through their open gates and overwhelm their one guardsman, is there?
I suppose that would mean that we probably should go and piss them off in the south, then.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
We could go and sneak and have a quick sneaky peek, and about poking the bear, as it were.
Yes, that went well when we were under the castle.
Yes, as long as there's as long as there's no caves that lead underground.
What happened under a castle?
Ah, fuck! I just break the bottle.
Just dropped it.
Well, there was a large cave
And large things in it.
and very large beasts in it.
Oh, like some oversized boar.
You, no.
No, they were definitely not boring. Dragons, old boy.
Oh, I immediately I take a step back with just shock all over my face and cover my mouth.
Well,
They're real.
I look at Rex. Is that what I looked like when you told me about the big bat thing?
Yeah, mate.
Oh.
If anything, you looked even more gormless.
Huh?
With my expression being pointed out, I immediately close my mouth and try to straighten up my look.
Don't worry, old boy. I'm sure we'll find some beastie for you to be not shocked at anymore. Always seems to happen.
Welcome to another day.
Lovely.
Another day in Tom. Well, not quite in Tom, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I suppose we can head south, but I do have to ask that from what we're hearing, there's somewhere between 4 and 6 raiders and 14 or so walking corpses. So it's up to maybe 20 opponents. Is that right?
Well, yeah, if we go chasing the undead. Now, I reckon that the living blokes have probably buggered off to their little ruins hideout.
Okay, you figure they're keeping them separate. They don't want to lay down their heads where there's a whole bunch of rotten bodies, huh?
You could say that.
How far is this place?
Makes sense.
Don't actually know that.
You didn't say.
He just said a bunch of ruins in between somewhere in the right from that.
Can I go and ask for some directions?
Sure. There's no shortage of villagers, some tending to cows, some chewing on sticks while tending to cows.
So I'll go and ask them directions and how far it is, etc., etc.
It is... I mean, Castle Drakenfell, everyone knows where that is, and if you just look at the mountain, they can sort of point to the castle. It basically between here and there. Nice and easy. It's almost like you've got a northern star to head to, only it's not a star, it's a castle of doom.
But it's not a distance where we would necessarily need to take a big noisy cart.
No, it might take you an hour or two to get there, more like 2 than 1, but...
Okay. So I suggest we go without the cart.
Yeah?
A little more stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe we could get some answers out of those raiders, because raiders working with the undead. The why is bothering me.
Money, probably.
Yeah, but if this is the person I think that's doing this, she wouldn't have let them live afterwards. So why?
Maybe she
Unless
didn't.
she's getting desperate.
Ain't the bigger question how? How are regular raiders working with walking corpses?
What is
Probably
follow
for their
orders
lives.
better than the living?
Oh, so you think that these fellas are working for somebody else that's controlling the corpses?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. All right.
Okay, so we've got that to go and have a look at.
We have a look around town, see if there's anything else that we can do to help before we go. I ideally don't want to take the guard away with us, just in case anything happens while we're gone.
Okay. You could certainly have a look around, see what he's doing. Oh, good lord. I'll say while you're walking around, though, your guard that has climbed on one of the buildings points to a beam. Lothar, that beam looks a little bit wonky from here. Probably
About 3 degrees?
about three. What's a degree? I say point it upwards.
Yeah, we've heard.
Okay, shall we go and give it a nudge and see if we can get it to go up?
Do you want to be in that building if it comes down?
Oh, it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Whenever has a building collapsed on us.
I believe that's how we met.
I'm gonna go give the beam a nudge. See, like, gonna go give it a closer inspection, shall we say?
You can give me a very hard strength test on your own.
Well, Can I assess it with the trade carpentry?
Sure, you can.
Yeah, you wanna
This
do
is
that
to
first
make an
before I go
to
break
make an
my arm.
observation.
Yeah, just before Rex goes and buries himself under a building.
I am
Yeah,
keeping my distance.
Personally, I'd try to use some tools. There's got to be some around here somewhere. They are building.
What are we going with, average?
Average, yeah. You can take your time. Analyze the wind, the angles.
Ooh.
Yep. It's not off in the direction your bodyguard said, it's off in the other direction. He probably has... Well, he does only have one eye in his defence. It does look a little insecure, and a few of the floorboards are barely holding on to it, so yes, probably would be a health and safety hazard later down the line, or the moment someone goes upstairs.
I feel confident that we could actually
With a
help rather than
hammer?
hinder.
With a few tools, probably. A few well-placed blows would likely shift it over a couple of, let's say, 3 degrees.
For argument's sake.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming there's tools around the place because they're rebuilding.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll go and acquire some tools for a moment, borrow some,
Okay.
put that right. Hopefully it'll cheer the Lord up when he sees that the beam isn't wrong. And
Okay.
nail the floorboards down so that they're actually attached.
Under Lothar's supervision, I'm going to ask someone to make me an average dexterity roll. Not for how hard you can hit it, but whether you can hit it just hard enough to move it.
Shall I go for that then?
Can do. I can't even find dexterity.
It isn't a tribute.
I'm not saying
On the
how much I've
main
got.
tab.
I'm just saying who wants to do it.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yeah,
went
I'll
to
do
it,
it.
so
Fire in the hole.
nicely done.
Yes.
In one. So, yeah, Lothar's like about 3 degrees, and you're like, okay, yeah, donk.
Yeah, no problem. Smack.
Straight
Next.
in, perfectly lined up, Lothar.
Yep.
And what I do is I flip the hammer around, like catch it by the head, and then hand it to him for nailing. So he can nail the
Damn.
bolts down.
Like, damn, son, that looks exactly 3 degrees.
Hey, 3 degrees is all it takes, isn't it?
Apparently.
Is that what she told you?
That's what they all tell me, mate. Anyway, you should probably talk to Miss Crystal a bit more.
Pythagoras has had a big influence on the Warhammer fantasy universe, it seems. Most people can't read and write, but everyone is aware of
Trigonometry.
Sin Constantine. Yeah, exactly.
Jebediah actually is.
Yeah.
Remember it?
So, one building has been corrected.
So, do we want to go around and do some more of this? Because I'm feeling myself right now.
First, we can do it before we take off. How much daylight do we have left?
Very early afternoon, isn't it?
I think
Yeah, early
late
afternoon.
morning. Oh,
I'd
Do
say
we want
12s.
to spend the day here and go tomorrow morning to the south, or
Do we think they'll still be there in the morning?
well, apparently
Or
that's
do you
where
think
they've
they'll
come
come
from.
here overnight?
That's where they've always come from, by the sounds of it.
They might come here overnight.
Yeah, they might realize they left some people behind and come back for us.
well, that's the other thing. Like, maybe we could. I mean, if we do stay, then we can probably bait that.
Well, I'm keen to get these defences set up,
Let's do
Whether-
that, and then
whether
we'll do
we
it
go
in-
there or not. Because if we need to fall back, we've got a defensible location.
Indeed.
We could go.
and
we could go there
perhaps
tomorrow
some-
then.
Perhaps some set up a few traps or ambush
Yeah.
sites. I mean, it's up to a village to defend itself, right?
Well, I was thinking pitfalls. It's not like the undead are intelligent enough to avoid them.
Indeed.
It would funnel them in and reduce the numbers that the 1 or 2 guards have to deal with.
To be fair, what would happen is they just fill up the hole.
Yes, but that would be a damn sight more of them gone than if you just let them.
Hey, I'm
walk
not
in.
knocking it. I'm just saying that's what will happen.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start digging? I can do it if you like.
Please.
Oh, alright.
So we'll target the south gate for that one then, yeah?
Yeah, if the other two are locked, start with the south.
Yeah.
The one
Well,
that's...
I mean, a locked gate. They ripped the one gate down. Perhaps we should barricade 2 gates.
Well, the
I
time
mean-
it'll take them to pull them down, we can relocate.
And, you know, Ralph can say hello, as you know, just sort of tapping Ralph on my shoulder.
Sure, but perhaps if the gate is barricaded from behind itself, and 2 gates are barricaded and one isn't, they'll favour the unbarricaded gate, and we can funnel them.
I don't
Got
think
time
they're
to do that.
And also, they're not really into that kind of tactics.
My guess is that they don't know we're here. They're going to try and come through the door that they already know they opened.
Yeah, finish the job.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to bet on, because we haven't got the luxury of the time to set up enough defences. Otherwise,
All right.
I'm afraid.
I mean, if we head straight for them, though, won't we come across them if they try coming back while we're on the way out?
Yes, and
That's
it's
why we said
20
we
to
stay
1.
here for the night.
All right.
So now now the plan is that we'll bum about this town, fix a few bits and bobs like that beam just then. Then in tomorrow morning we'll bugger off towards those ruins, see if we find anybody or anything, maybe get a few answers out of some people. You know, maybe you can acquire another chair there, Jebediah. We don't know. But
We'll see.
well,
Doubt I can
yeah,
find one that
exactly.
good again.
That was yeah. That was a nice
perhaps-
chair.
Perhaps we should train the get the villagers to grab a few tools and pitchforks and whatnot. It's
Yeah.
their town, they can defend it.
Yeah.
Right then. Let's go do some stuff.
Alright. What are you up to? Which order of stuff would you like to do?
I think split up. Lothar, you've got carpentry, and Rex can apparently smash all the things. But we need someone to train to gather up the village people and show them a few thrusts and stuff.
Yeah, I could
people.
try. I could. I could try that. Given my kind of my everyman status, just being a lowly worker, and older, they might hopefully maybe look up to me and be willing to follow my lead.
So they might need things picking up and putting down again.
Yeah, that's all right. That sounds fine. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind going around with Lothar and magic hammering everything.
And then, I mean, I can go around with Jebediah and help him, or would I be better off doing something else?
I mean, did you want to try and like source a load of materials, bring them to the center of town for if we needed to make barricades quickly, or maybe go and, or I don't know, maybe supervise the defenses on the south gate, like how well they're digging the hole?
We're also going to need some stuff for barricades and stuff as well, aren't we? So
Yeah,
we might need
that was
to.
my first.
Yeah, there's some trees and stuff, so we might need to grab a couple of guards to go and chop some trees down and stuff.
Sounds
Get
like
some
you'd be
wood.
better organising alongside Jebediah with your
Yeah.
reclamation efforts. So
I mean, we could always just send the guard off for the
You
barricade
could just
stuff.
You could condense like barricading and training as like one thing between the two of you as a joint effort, and then yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
leave at least one
Okay.
guard on the gates to make sure that we've got lookouts if you need to take
Yes.
Yep. And we've got to look out on top of the building to see. if he
I wouldn't
spots
rely on
anything
him
from-
too much. It's raining pretty badly. It's
more. I
88.
think he's up there guessing that no one's coming. Call him blinking.
It seems that way. Let's start with the old barricading. So who was heading that up?
Myself and Jebediah were doing that
Okay.
with a bunch of villagers and stuff.
So you're doing some recruitment first.
So yeah, we're going to recruit up some villagers.
Yeah.
Because they can defend their own bloody town.
Yeah.
Because we'll make the work go quicker, because it's literally just shoving a bunch of bits of wood and making spiky bits and whatever.
Okay. So, who is in charge? Well, who's going to be doing the primary recruitment first?
I think Jebediah should be talking to the villagers.
So be leadership?
Yeah, I'll say you're a foreigner here, so I think we'll do we'll go with average though, because I think it's going to be okay, a reasonable effort. You get the attention of a few individuals. If we load you on over to, let's just sort of swap over map for a moment. You get the attention of a few village people.
Yeah, come on over and help us out, boys.
Specifically, you get the attention of 4, though. Okay, so let's put them to work. I'm going to roll a collective strength roll for them, just on a scale of sort of percentage scale. See how they're average. They're just average people. So Jebediah, they're just villagers. They're town folk. They're not trained, but they do what they can to assist you.
All right.
How much time do you want to spend on this endeavour?
I'd say we'd need a good, probably 3 or 4 hours to do it properly. So we get a good base going within an hour or two, and then start to expand on it afterwards, adding things like spikes and stuff to a barricade so that they'll just walk straight into it, that sort of thing.
Okay, so we've got the leadership role of Jebediah. Henrik, what do you want to do to contribute to this?
I mean, my skills being what they are, not really built for this sort of thing.
What are your skills?
You could just talk up Jebediah.
My hype
Well,
man.
I think what I'll do is I will act in deference to Jebediah, because obviously younger, more well dressed, but showing the sort of the respect and deference to an older gentleman who's sort of on their same sort of level, or at least seems to be. Hopefully they'll see me doing that, and then inspire them a little bit.
I would say to fake it would be acting, but it seems for now you're just actually going to be just doing the task. And trying to hope that they sort of follow along with. So I'll allow you maybe to make, you could either go for intelligence for coordination, maybe strength for actually being a bit more hands-on. I think one of those is probably looking a bit more likely than the other.
Yeah. That's initiative. That's not intelligence. That's what's my intelligence.
Yeah,
intelligence is way higher than the other.
Yeah, let's go with an average intelligence roll for you, just to see how you can contribute to helping these individuals. There you go.
Oh my god, it's not my obligatory 97.
Absolutely, and no one shot you in the head with an arrow yet. So, all in all, a great adventure so far for you. Between Jebediah's leadership and your coordination and smarts, you were able to get a decent way to achieving your barricades defences.
Cool.
While I'm doing that, and I don't know if this needs another roll, I think we'll both be talking about the defence. And sort of trying to bolster their courage up a little bit, because we expect them to help man the barricade and defend the town as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you for a separate leadership role for that.
Sure.
Each of us?
Who wants to take charge on this? Who's going to be the person that does more of that? The other person can assist.
I honestly think it should be Jebediah.
Yeah, I've kind of
Makes more sense. You're old and grumbly. Okay, roll an average test this time. Then you got some assistance, and the village people seem to kind of like you.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Sorry, there's no YMCA. It's
Hard to concentrate. They're staring at you a bit too intently. Yeah, they're nervous folk. They don't seem intent on actually committing themselves to battle, but they're quite happy to dig holes and place wood where it's supposed to go.
We get them to help dig the hole at the south gate.
You name it, they're on it.
If that's failed, can I try a little bit of bribery?
Sure. How much money do you have on you?
About 3.5 gold.
Okay, fine. Yeah, roll a bribery. Just average.
In this role,
Yep.
I would like it to be sort of a bit more widespread, as in, I'm sort of saying, oh look, a little bit of cash, and if anyone else happens to want to join that you happen to know, I might have a little bit more cash to do that.
Okay,
Would that fit the role?
Still challenging. Sorry, average.
Still average.
Average. And like a fail isn't necessarily a fail, it just makes it more expensive. Okay, they're keen. They'll take some coin. How many people do you want to buy for the day?
I want as many as we possibly can.
I would say you could probably get most of the town, which is about 15 people right now. Maybe 20. That's not most of the town, but a good portion for 10 silver.
I shall do that then. Change that down to 1 silver in that pile. There we go.
For
So should we just
silver
saddle
for a
up and
few
march
hours'
off?
work.
Oh.
Yeah, is looking pretty good. They're chipping in. They're singing some song, something to do with a young man. It seems to be spurring them on. Let's touch base with our other two right now. Lothar and Rex. What are you up to?
Like mooching around town, I guess.
Well, do we want to just go up to Edinger and be like, right, where's your construction problems or whatever?
Yeah, see if he's got any pressing matters that he thinks need attention besides the defences.
Okay. If I actually doink. You catch Edinger, and he gives you a little bit of a tour of the town. So, this is the hospital. This is where there are some of the wounded. We have, pulls out his journal, 3 missing limbs, 1 missing eye, 2 have deceased and have since become undead, in which case they have been decapitated for, well, it goes without saying. And the construction work is round the corner from here, where we have 3 buildings where the brickwork is looking rather shoddy.
Brickwork's a bit outside our skill set. Although we did fix that beam for you.
Well, my list of problems is long enough. I have a broken fence. I have 3 individuals who are particularly lazy. And let's not talk about the Strigani.
Wait, you have Strigani here?
Only 1.
Oh, where are they?
He
Where is he?
stole a silver. He's in the naughty box.
Oh, not this one. Okay, I know what he's doing. Do you mind if I have a word with him?
Sure. See if you can beat some sense into him.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me have a look. Where is the naughty box?
Let's go with
Right,
drag and drop tokens.
Won't go there straight away, but
Okay,
yeah.
sure.
Well, since
you are
since we're
given
at the
directions to the naughty box.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a list of his problems. He's got masonry work we can't solve because we're not masons and have no masonry skill between us. The hospital has a couple of corpses in it.
Yeah, did they get rid of the bodies, or are the bodies still there, just decapitated?
He
probably
didn't
threw it
go into
outside.
that much detail.
Okay.
Let's just knock on the door and maybe you could, I don't know, maybe you can heal.
Have a glance around and see how it's going for them. But we
Say
should
a prayer.
probably lay the deceased to rest with the correct
Oh,
rites.
absolutely.
Otherwise, they're just adding more to the ranks.
Yep.
And
I
it's
will
not
go
fair
up
to those that
and knock on the door.
You knock on the door. Hey up, love. How do?
Sure, I love. I heard that you had a couple of dead uns in here.
Oh, we did. We chopped them up.
Right. What did you do with the bodies afterwards? Did you bury them properly, or?
Oh, they're in a barrel out back.
Okay, we're gonna have to bury those.
Aye, waiting for one of them Morat priests to come over to show us how to do them prayers and stuff.
we can.
Well, I have my man
Get the
Lo-Fi
rites done.
here, who can do the rites for you.
Oh, you can pray for 'em if you like. We could just shut 'em in one of them halls.
I think we can lay them to rest.
That's the one. Aye,
Yeah, we can take care of that.
sounds good. Who are you, by the way?
I'm Rex. This is Lo-Fi. We've come from Tom.
Oh,
Orlando and
the charity workers. That's nice.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I
God,
got
I'd love knowing that.
3 patients here that are proper fucked if you want to try and help them.
Yeah. Sure. Is that an average or challenging? Heal just to see if
Average
they're
to
even human.
diagnose. Average to diagnose. Right. This one's missing a leg. This one's missing an arm. And this one's just been really sad on account of all of his family being dead.
They're all missing the soul.
Aye. I've been rubbing stinger nettles on them and trying to get more some beans to put in their pockets to help.
I'm guessing you haven't seen an improvement.
No, but I've got my apothecary book and I'm trying. I give it a week or two and we'll see if his leg grows back.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it probably won't.
No, it tends not to. I've sent word for a physician from the Altdorf so we can get a surgeon and try and give them a prosthetic stick or something.
You don't want to do that.
Don't I?
No.
Oh.
They are con men of their own right, let's put it that way.
Oh! See if you can convince her out of this.
Let's have a charm test then.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen, but let's go.
She...
Whoa.
Nope. Nope. Well, I heard from Deirdre that she met a physician and he was right short and little with a big nose, but he helped sort her thrush out.
Yeah, he probably caused it.
Oh, you think, that dirty little minx? She did say he had a big nose.
Yeah. We've had a few
Issues
what would
with
be
them.
the issues? Yeah, go with that. Yeah. They do some very questionable things, and yeah.
Oh, well, I'll just let them practice on one and I'll see what I think, but I'll make
Just
up my
don't-
own mind.
Just don't be surprised if anybody else in the town suddenly gets sick. When that happens.
More people are getting sick all the time. Anyway, I'm going to go get some more stinging nettles to rub on this man's bollocks. I'll be back in a bit. Toodaloo.
Okay, so Lothar.
That was an apothecary.
That was an apothecary?
Highly trained.
Oh.
Nowhere near as good as Lazarus.
Yeah, I was about to say.
About the same.
The fact that she wants the fucking Physicians Guild to turn up is interesting.
Apothecaries aren't great at sewing arms back on. That's their downfall. Their one weakness in life. Yeah, so I'll let you guys have a little dabble before we check back in on Jebediah and Mr. Yeager.
Right, so Lothar, do you want to take the 2 limb people and I'll go take the sad person?
Well, it sounds like they're in for a stinging nettle treatment, so we could go and resolve the barrel full of parts.
That is probably the best idea we've got. Let's go.
Yeah, because we can't help these people. They're already, well, in the tender, loving care of that delightful woman.
I don't know. I mean, the one who's sad, we could just, drown him in some drink, and I'm sure they'll forget about it all.
I will say, with your test, Lothar, that the dressing probably could be a bit better and less infected.
Okay, so we could go around and change their bandages and things.
So it's you're not without a couple of options if you wanted to try and make their life, I wouldn't say more comfortable, I would say less agonising.
Yeah, well, I'll do that.
Or less fever-ridden, perhaps.
Yeah. Less likely to die.
Change your bandages.
Can I have a chat with the sad person?
Sure. Chat with a very sad person.
Just go in, sort of sit down next to him. You alright?
You just get a large sigh in response.
So, I'm guessing that's all, your family got totaled by the raiders / undead?
One more sigh in response. And a pretty glum look to go along with Hydra's not being insensitive.
Now, you could sit around here being all mopey and shit, or, you could go out and get some revenge.
Charm or leadership?
Leadership.
Leadership sounds about right.
It's a leadership role, really, not a charm, because I'm not trying to. It's like this is sort of a recruitment drive.
I will give you. Yep.
Can I offer them my bottle first?
Sure. Sweeten the deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They do accept.
Now they get blasted.
Average leadership for me, please.
Leadership. Oh, wasn't
It's a
told.
crit.
Crit.
I've actually added crits for social tests and non-combat shit now, just to make it more interesting.
That means we can fumble.
Yes, it does. So they drink, they glug, they probably have a bit more than you were expecting.
It's fine. They're a bit sad.
It's fair enough. It's hard to take a drink from a morning person, but after they're done, they stand up to attention, chest puffed up and proud. Wipe the remnants of booze from their mouth, flick their hair to one side, out of their eyes. They've got a little bit of an emo sweep going on and a big floppy hat, but look you in the eyes and nod.
I'll tell you what, mate. You come with me, and we'll smash some undead.
They make a grin and make a smashing motion with their hands after pointing to their mouth and making mouth movements, but you don't need to roll an intuition test. They're a mute.
Ah, awesome. Right, mate. Well, do you have a name or something? Like, just trying to sort of get like this Can he gesture a name? Or do I do? Or
Warhammer
does he
charades. Let's go. They point to the.
2 words sounds like.
One
Sounds
hand points to their head, let's say, and
Right.
the other one points to the floorboard.
Headboard.
They give
I
you the
enjoy-
gesture as if you were fairly close.
Headboard. Skullboard.
Nope, it seems like you were
Oh.
closer the first time. They go and grab something else. This thing is a wooden spoon.
The wooden spoon. Whoa. Okay.
They point to their head, then they point to the spoon.
Head spoon.
They say no. They point back to the floor. We won't go doing this for 4 hours, don't worry. But make an intelligence roll for me.
Edward.
Yes! They give you a hug. Congratulations. We just played TTRPG charades. I'm impressed. I think chat should be too. Yeah, it's Edward. I'm glad you got that and we didn't spend an hour feeling really awkward.
I actually did sort of guess it at the start. Just
Dragged it out
Just
for
dragged
the
it
sake
out.
of humour. Fair enough. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Appreciated. For theatrical. Right.
effect.
So you now understand Edward.
Yep.
And Lothar has applied some clean bandages.
So I give the Edward the welcome to the team handshake. You know, the one that you grab the forearm sort of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And walks outside with the two of you. As you go to leave, there's a Volksman steps back in with a handful of stinger nettles, and one of the individuals you've just changed the bandages for Lothar's size and starts to pull down his trousers.
Just before I leave, I guess. Could I have offered them a drink? Because it sounds like they need one.
Sure. I think so. I think so.
I'm just going to take a bottle off now. That's definitely a bottle gone.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
So-
So I'm just going to say to Edward, like, we're going to be in town for a while, but eventually we will be leaving to go back to Tarm. So if you've got anything you need to finish in this place, then
Okay.
finish. But
Roger. Now I'm
just so
gonna
he's not sort of hanging around us, that would be a bit weird.
I'm gonna let the group of you catch up after a hard day's work. Was there anything of the shopping list as such Rex and Lothar would have delved into as well, or?
Well, we would have performed the rites for the body parts because
Sure.
would have had the
We'll
knowledge
say
to do it.
we'll say that will have been taken care of.
I mean, sort of Stragani.
Yes, the Stragani was the other one.
Sure. For argument's sake, let's just say that you catch up with.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're there. Yeah. You're led into a dark room with a single Stragani inside.
So the guards in the room, or are they leaving?
They're outside.
They're outside, right?
Well, by outside, I mean the one guard is the other side of town.
Right, so no worries
He
there.
was just in a building
Just sit down.
with the
You're
door
all
closed.
Mate?
You right there, lad? How's it going?
Yeah, not bad. What Stragani crew are you from?
I was just passing through.
Right.
No crew particular, just passing through. Me caravan was raided, so that was a while ago. But I'm just trying to move on through, you know.
Yeah. Just stole some silver.
A man's got to eat.
Oh, at least you're not doing what the last one did.
I just needed a few coin. There's dead all over the place too, so a little bit of silver in your package don't do any harm.
It doesn't really do a lot of good either, from what I understand.
No, especially if you get caught. But at least I is safe inside.
I don't think you're very safe in this town, mate. They had the doors open.
Aye, but this door was closed, though, at least, when the raid happened, so I'll count myself lucky.
Right, well, I'm going to guess that you know how to fight. In one way or another.
Shagani Milan know how to fight.
Yeah. Well, I've got a very funny feeling that this place is going to get battered very soon. We could do with a bit of a hand, because there's bugger all people here who are actually trained to do anything. Do you want to join?
What are you asking me to do there? Exactly that?
Well, well, basically, Lordy McLaudison of this place doesn't really want you here, so he'd probably be pretty happy to let you out if we sort of took you with us as such. So,
where exactly are you from?
Well, we're from Tom.
Oi.
But, you know, we could probably do with the help with the guarding sort of aspect.
They got a bakery there, if I remember right.
You do remember rightly.
And isn't that the place where Gilda used to go?
Yeah. Say with apprehension.
Right. Sounds like I've got catching up to do. Well,
yeah,
anything beats being here.
Alright, well, how about, right, so what I say is, like, if I say that, you know, we've had the chat, and I hope you don't take this personally, but I'm going to have to hit you in the face on the way out. We've had the chat, and we'll take you with us so you can get out of this bloody place.
I'm not exactly sure about being hit in the face.
Well, lords being lords.
Have you seen this lord?
Yes.
Just tell him I've been told off. I'm a changed man.
Yeah, nah. He wants some sort of physical.
Make a roll.
Oh,
you're gonna have
just before
to.
he does that, I'm just gonna kind of just walk up to him and sort of like really close and quietly say, "Is this a thing? You punching people in the face when you first meet them? I mean, do you need some help with that?"
This is a lord who wants to see some sort of retribution for him stealing. Punch in the face.
Okay.
Easy job.
You've got like a -3 to beat.
So I quickly whip round.
Right, fuck it. Just don't take my tooth out.
I only hit you in the arm, so it's fine.
Alright, well, that'll do.
I just give you one massive thwack on the arm and be like, there you go. It's like a slap on the wrist almost.
Yeah, he looks at you like, oh.
And Henry's just stood there shaking his head and looking at the floor like, oh.
Right then, I guess I'll be making myself busy and stuff.
Yeah, well, let me just go and tell him that we've had the words, and then he'll probably, you know, he'll be like, yeah, all right.
Okay.
I can't see him saying no.
I'll ask for a concluding conversation for the evening between Jebediah, Henrik, Rex and Lothar, while Hydra goes to get a beer.
Alright, boys, how did you get on?
Well, we've got a number of villagers ready to stand and fight and help build the barricade.
What are those weirdos with the axe?
Yep, them's the ones. They're a bit stronger than they look, but nothing's super special.
Yes, they were singing some very strange songs I'd never heard before.
Likewise.
Yes, I think some of them might have served at sea.
Jebediah, any thoughts on that one? Being, you know, River Thera yourself?
Well, I ain't really been out to sea that much. It's mostly down the rivers. I can honestly say I ain't seen boys dressed quite like that before. I was on the ships. I don't know if some other men would have taken too kindly to them or not.
Well, this is what happens when we go to the south, I guess.
You and I have heard very different stories about the seafarers.
Well, at least so you got some goods there. That's all right.
How'd y'all work out up there?
Well, we buried I'll tell you what, 2 people died in the hospital and they cut them up into fucking body parts, chucked them in barrels, for fuck's sake.
Why'd they do that?
So they don't reanimate.
Oh,
you know,
well, that's a good reason.
Yeah, it's a good enough reason, but we were just told they were decapitated. Next thing we know, it's a whole freaking, everything was pulled off. Yeah.
You'd think they were making a stew.
Wait, what? Just Rex's face drops.
There's one thing that's just been playing in my mind a little. When we first came in, the Lord, Headbanger, whatever his name is, he mentioned that when the raiders used to come before, they used to give them the grain and whatnot, but he also mentioned sacrifices.
Well, I can't imagine that the mercenaries willing to align themselves with the undead are particularly wholesome people.
No, but let's have a think about this for a second, boys. Sacrifices, where have we heard this all before?
Mm-hmm.
Have I heard this?
No.
No, actually.
Oh, good.
Right, well, we can tell you
stones.
this. Yeah, we can tell you this one because that's actually before thingies, isn't it?
We're going back to the stones.
We're going back to the stones. That's back in season 1. So.
Yep. Yeah, this is Theodosius.
Yeah, Theodosius. So we'll tell Jebediah the story of the stones and the sacrifices that we worked out in season 1.
Henrik, as he's not Skullplate.
Actually, yeah, that's a very good point. He's not Skullplate, so yeah, we'll tell him too.
Roger. Okay.
So yeah, now they know. So that boys is probably why they've been asking for sacrifices, because they might have a stone. Although the fact that they worked out how to fucking use it is beyond me.
Well, that might explain why they've aligned themselves with undead. Evil begets evil and all that.
Well, interestingly enough, the evil can't see when the stone's working. So they must have been nicked outside of their little stone circle or whatever. Because there's like a range. It perpetuates. It's like a range. So they must have stepped outside it one day and got nicked.
Or perhaps it's something else, but either way, I think they were up to no good before the undead
Agreed.
even came.
I mean, they're raiders, they're not exactly saints now, are they?
No, but sacrifice, that's a different level than just stealing shit.
Who's alloying with necromancers?
What? And just look around. What the fuck are all these crows doing here?
Maybe they're a message from Moore.
Can I? Hang on. I might do something in a minute.
Sure.
Oh, bird scary.
Can I do a perception test to see if I can see anything strange about them?
Sure. I mean, you see they're there, so challenging to get more details.
Well, they're birds.
They are birds.
Okay, we're doing this.
Oh boy.
Fumbled it. His eyes fell out.
Oh no, that's a cool check.
What's Rex doing a cool check for?
You'll see.
Okay.
I'm just gonna basically just fire him a gun. Very badly.
Into the air.
Yeah, it's just into the air. To see if they fuck off.
Yes, they do go. And for 20 minutes, you get some peace and quiet. Until you hear a... Although way before then, you get a... What was that noise? That was so loud!
That was my anti-crow device going off.
Anti-crow, I thought it was a black powder weapon. Go, can you make a charm roll, please? I really hope you win this.
You know what?
Well, let's see what he rolls.
Still -1. Wow.
Okay, you got the better target. You narrowly win. He's looking at it like, I don't know, that looks a bit more like a black powder weapon to me. But the crows did go for... Oh, well, there's one coming back now. Perhaps we should fire one every minute, shall we say?
I have not brought enough I have not brought enough bullets for that, I'm afraid, my lord.
I see. I will...
I wanted to test the theory, and it doesn't seem like they give a shit.
Okay, well, once again, thank you for your work, and I hope you've enjoyed your stay. Please, feel free to protect us and save us, and don't look inside the barn. Goodbye.
Wait, what?
What? Barn?
Oh,
What the hell is that about?
Oh my.
Right, now I know why the crows are still here.
Let's go have a look in the barn.
I think we're going to have to do a very sly look in the barn.
Is there a way we can look in without actually opening the door?
Oh, there's probably like cracks in the thing, but I doubt there's any light inside.
To be fair, we have enough guard here to outnumber most of this town. So if it turns out to be something awful...
Well, that's exactly what I imagine that's going to happen. It will be something awful, because let's face it, whenever does anything go nice for us?
That is a fair point. And if these are a sign of more, then we can only guess that there's more like the barrel in the barn.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that's why the crows are still here. Great.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Yep. So do I.
May I make a suggestion we try and do this a little bit sneaky at first, just in case?
I suggest we do this when the lights go out.
Yes, because that's
Okay.
always the best time
You
to
wait
open
till
up a big
late.
scary building we've been told not to go near.
Well, do you want to do it in daylight when people can see you?
I'd rather not do it at all, but, you know, sometimes you just don't get the choice.
Stand watch for us then.
Yeah.
I suppose the worry is, worst case, I'd imagine we're all guessing there's like a whole, maybe a pile of undead waiting in there, right?
Uh-huh.
If and there is, if we open that door at night, will the Lord think that we're trying to kill them all? Like the townsfolk by letting those things out?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, the fact is, it's like you don't let them out, but unfortunately, we have to open the door. He's saying don't open it, so obviously there's something in there he doesn't want us to see. Now, I don't think he's stupid enough to keep bodies lying around, though.
Well,
Perhaps we just go and take a look now and from a distance and see if we can approach the barn now. Otherwise, sure, we can wait till sundown.
and if we can't immediately see nothing, could always do what me and the boys sometimes do on the docks. Just shake a box a little, see if you hear anything inside. If there's any live cargo, or in this case, undead cargo, it'll make a sound back, most like.
Oh, what? So whack the wall?
Exactly.
Okay. Right, let's, shall we, gentlemen?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go around to the barn for sort of as far away as possible, just to see if anyone's watching it.
Sure.
Hydra?
Roll an easy perception test. Just one of you, though.
I can roll it unless somebody else wants to.
It sounds like you're on lookout, so roll me an easy.
An easy. There's a
target-
box.
it's
Safe.
Oh, I can see the. Okay.
You can see the crow.
Yeah.
I didn't call it Blackie, by the way. It's called that in an adventure.
Quickly deny that.
Seems safe. The one guard was in the tavern you were just drinking in, so the rest of the guard are yours. No villagers seem to be hanging around. It would make a bit of noise to open the main door, but
Is there any like windows, shuttered windows or anything?
no windows, but also no roll to require a. You would see a few loose boards that you could sort of try and wedge and peep through.
I mean, so first of all, do I hear anything?
Average perception for me, please.
And we were gonna like tap on the wall and things.
Yep. Okay, and this is including tapping on the wall and things. Narp.
I don't
All
hear
sounds
anything.
quiet.
Nothing goes back. I don't smell anything.
Not with that roll, no.
Not with that roll. Okay.
Maybe not with any roll. Who knows? Cryptic GM metaphor.
Cryptic metaphor.
Okay, so perhaps we
Is there-
open it and take a look. See.
Is there any space under the door, like you could put anything under it?
I need more
Well,
bar
there
on
is
that.
Yodicus.
There's some boards that we can pry out.
Yeah, you could definitely try and squeeze under a board around the side, or if you didn't want to go in the main entrance.
At this point, I would say open the big door because at least then we can run.
But it's
I'm
much
just
easier
thinking
for
of giant dragons.
inside to get out.
Let a fucking dragon out. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, the bigger the door, the more things can come out at once.
So
I'd say Lothar.
pry a board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let Lothar do that one.
Okay, Lothar's
I
going to
have,
pry a
I
board.
have a crowbar, so
Okay, you don't need to roll a test to pry a board with a crowbar. Who's going in?
yep,
Lothar?
yep.
Okay.
Like,
It's dark
guess I'll back
inside.
him up.
What lighting are you going to use?
You said there's no windows or anything, didn't you?
No.
So I have matches and
Okay.
candles,
So
so I
you
can
light-
set a candle going.
Okay. So you crawl inside, along the dirt, hands and knees, and all seems to be quiet when you get inside. You strike a match. Manage to light a candle.
While we're outside, can I just light up my lantern?
Sure.
Great. Does it work normally?
Yes.
I just turn to the other two and be like, right, it's not so bad. It's not as bad as I thought. And blow it back out.
Okay.
Right. You're not going to pass. You're not going to pass the lantern to Lothar, who's going inside a dark building. Got it.
He's got a candle.
It's got a candle. It's all fine. Lothar, as you strike the match, nothing stands out other than you're expecting to see a very large open space in front of you. Instead, you're kind of meted by a wall in your face. You light the candle to give you a little bit more light, and you see a ginormous wheel to your left and to your right. There seems to be some huge metallic contraption in front of you on wheels.
Okay. Can I see under it, round it?
You can
What's
have a good
it?
snoop around.
I'm guessing it's like a cart type of shape.
A cart type of shape. That would be appropriate, yes. There are, as you circle this contraption, whatever it may be, you notice there are a few arms that sort of lever off of the back, and it seems to be like a very large, like a rake, I guess you would describe it as in primitive terms, a giant rake that is currently leant up against the wall, but clearly has a point to attach onto the back.
We drag it behind it.
You would hope so. There are 4 wheels on this contraption, a few funnels, and otherwise it seems to be just encased in metal. A giant metal box on 4 wheels with some funnels sticking out the top. I think that says as much as needs to be said. Or not. No sign of zombies. Good news.
Yeah, so there's checking around the outside. Does it? Is there like any kind of barrels or anything that would indicate that maybe something like more bodies would be stored here, or is it purely this contraption?
This contraption, a couple of barrels of coal that you find. Dig your hand inside. Just coal.
I spent time in Knoll. Would I know what this is?
We
Or
are...
a similar contraption? I'm trying really hard.
Yeah, the problem is we are pre the first steam tank.
Yeah.
So all you would know is that this is some bodge of science, I think.
Yeah, it's some sort of contraption.
It's
probably made by the Mad Lord.
Well, yeah, one of those machines that you might have heard about them in Nuln, where people make contraptions that do things that people would normally do. I think that's as far as your knowledge would go. Obviously, your meta knowledge is another thing, but
They maybe be able to kind of guess from some of the or hints as to what it does, considering the dwarves as well.
It seems fairly obvious with there being 4 wheels. It must move. There is a giant rake on the back. It seems to be agriculturally leaning. There are no weapons attached to it. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just go back to the panel that I pulled off and stick my head back through. There's nothing bad in here. There's what looks like some sort of horseless cart for farming, but there's no bodies.
Well, that's a hell of a relief.
Yep. I mean, that man's obviously an engineer, isn't he?
Seems to be.
Yeah. So it's probably like a weird project thing he's probably pulling together, isn't it?
That'd be my guess. I had a look in all the crates, and there's coal, but there's no signs of anything bad. For the first time.
Well, that doesn't explain the crows, so
Perhaps we could all take a look.
Sure, it seems safe. Just double check there's no one out there to see.
Yeah, I go ahead inside and take a look.
I'm just gonna stand outside,
Sure.
let them get on with that.
Okay. The 3 of you
Well,
have as much of a poke around inside as you like. Aside from the previous details that have been extrapolated, it has a door to enter it, so it seems, or there's a handle on the side of it that is attached to a square board that looks like you could climb through. But otherwise, no, not much going on.
I'll open the door and sort of climb in and have a look.
Okay.
I'll stay off to the side just in case he gets it working.
There are lots of metal sticks inside of it, Henrik. Some of them have balls on the end. It's a bit like a cane that's stuck into a metal box.
I probably shouldn't touch any of these. Oh, but it's so inviting. Sticks.
Give
Go
us
for
away. We're not supposed to be in here as it is.
Anything else interesting in there?
I will, at this point, because Hydra keeps saying that dark whispers should be a thing, Henrik will have a little whisper in his ear, just saying that this lever in particular looks really shiny and sticky. And
Don't press the button.
maybe if you pull this lever, it would be really awesome. You as a player get to choose. If you do it, you will lose a corruption point. If you do it, I don't know what else will happen. Well, I do, but you don't.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
Because Henrik has had an idea.
Sure.
So he's going to climb back out.
Oh, I thought you were going to pull on something in there.
Well, I would do, but the windows are a bit big.
Ah. Alright.
Speaking of which, when I was inside, how well protected does it seem in the driver's thing? Like, is it like a big giant open area? Is it inside?
There is a small tiny slit that you could see through to look out and see what's in front of you. Otherwise, you're completely enclosed in a metal box.
Awesome. Okay.
Has Jebediah ever seen anything like this in Nuln?
What laws do you have, Jebediah?
Don't have anything with Nuln. I think just let me look.
General law stuff. Law
Like
local,
Reichland, maybe.
law Reichland.
Yeah, just Law Reichland.
Roll an average law Reichland.
Nope.
No. I'll say no but, which is you haven't heard of anything specifically, but you had heard of a dwarven ship that had like metal on top of it as well as beneath it.
Might be made by dwarves. Maybe. Just kind of shrug.
It'll be the Lord, something he's dreamt up. Either way, let's get out of here before he comes back.
Yeah.
There's nothing to see here, really.
Yes,
Well, nothing that we were expecting.
I have an idea. Let's grab Rex and see what we think.
Sure, just don't kick any of those levers on your way out.
Uh-huh.
You whisper over to Rex, who's sat outside.
So we'll tell him exactly what we've seen. And I'll describe what it was like inside, that it was very enclosed, there's only a tiny slit for a window. So you're very, very well protected on the inside. The whole thing is encased in metal. And my idea, gentlemen, is that thing could probably ride over an entire army.
It's being very safe itself.
And you could probably have some soldiers in it. You might be able to put some archers on top. Possibly. Might need some modifications, but I mean, that thing could be I don't know what you would call it.
What, like a battle wagon or something?
Yes, that's a wonderful idea. Yes, a battle wagon. I like that idea. Do you think the Lord might swap it for my cart?
Oh, I very much doubt it.
Right.
You think it would pull your cart?
It might not even work.
Yes. The only issue would be, I mean, what makes it go? I know there's coal in there. I mean, is that a thing?
Do we
Looks
know
at
if
Jebediah.
Steam's a thing?
I thought so, 'cause it's dwarven tech, isn't it?
If you've seen some dwarven bits at Carax, maybe, if you're more well travelled, but for those localers...
I did just spend last week in the Carrack.
Yeah, you might have seen some bits and bobs powered by steam, so you could make a guess.
I think we might need to have a word with Lord Edberger.
Should we tell him we went in here, or should we just propose this more like, oh, it sure is a shame we don't have some giant metal thing to drive over a bunch of undead with?
Yeah, that does sound a bit...
I think perhaps I should talk to him.
All right. I ain't the best at conversation necessarily.
Shall we see if it's
Okay.
free?
Yeah, but you know we're not supposed to be in here, right?
Uh-huh. It's fine, don't worry.
Okay.
Maybe describe it as some sort of armoured cart. Or if you were to armour your own cart, Don't tell him.
I
what
usually
she
find honesty is the best policy.
Right, can we be across town when he tells him?
Be where you like. I'm going to go and speak to him.
Oh, fuck.
I'm going to head straight to find Lord Edbanger.
Okay.
Is the main gate, is it still knocked down?
It has been barricaded.
Okay, never mind.
Temporarily, at least. Someone could get in if the person that's there dedicated to removing the barricade removes it for you.
Okay.
So, you can leave. It's just a lot of effort. Hedrick, you knock on the door of Edgar. Hello?
Hello, my lord. I wondered if you would have a moment. I'd like to have a word with you, if I may.
I have about, I would say about 6 minutes until bedtime.
Then I shall not waste any time. My lord, I have a confession to make. After you mentioned the barn, I'm afraid I did go and have a quick peek in there. Don't worry. Certainly won't tell anyone else. What I found in there is that your work. It is glorious.
This will be the easiest jailbreak in history, mind.
He keeps his cool.
Well, I said not to look in there, but you did, and, well, it is glorious, is it not?
Oh, my lord. How did you ever discover such a thing?
Well, I started with a card, and then I put metal all around it in order to protect it from debris, because the first one I made destroyed itself with all of the rocks that it kicked up, so I thought I'd better protect it, and this one is here to help plant the crops. You should see my carrot peeler.
Oh, my lord. Now, obviously with what's going on at the moment and having to barricade things up and everything, I have to say, a thought did occur to me of a more military persuasion. That thing that you have created, my word, it could destroy armies. It could drive straight over them, and those inside, they wouldn't come to any harm whatsoever.
Well,
and then it also then occurred to me, you have a slight problem with these raiders. As you say before, they were quite amicable in their dealings with you, but now they've turned to more nefarious purposes. And perhaps you would prefer to see them gone more permanently?
Well, it would be remarkably unlikely for them to all stand in front of the I haven't come up with a name for it yet, but you would have to get them all to stand in front of it.
Ah, yes, to run them all down.
Yes,
indeed.
of course, because
However, with a man of your genius and capabilities as an engineer, I'm sure you could come up with a way of placing some men with archers on top, perhaps some men inside that could then stand out and do battle with your enemies. If
I see.
such a thing was to appeal to you, of course, my lord.
Like some form of armoured chariot. Well, it's not going to peel any carrots, and certainly not going to plant any potatoes. And almost definitely not going to help any aubergines to grow, but...
No. But could you imagine the colleges of Altdorf? The Engineers Guild?
Indeed! I have sent word to them, but without much fruit. I could do with someone who's an inn. The engineering folk up there, primarily dwarves. Nothing against them, bit short, long beard, smell funny, but they haven't accepted my plea for funding.
Oh, my word, how short-sighted of them. But you know what would really help? A true field test in battle.
Well, yes. We just have to point it in the right direction.
Do you think do you think you might be able to make a few modifications to have a few archers that could possibly fire from inside, such as a castle and the arrow slits in a castle? Perhaps some way to hold some men who could then charge the enemy from inside.
Some form of... I see. It still sounds remarkably improbable that they would stand in front of it.
Well, indeed. But it moves, doesn't it?
Yes, both forwards and backwards.
How about side to side or turning?
No, it advances and retreats.
Ah. Is that a modification you could make?
That's why I wanted the funding.
Ah, I see.
I was trying to come up with a means in order to make it move, not just forwards, but to steer like a chariot. But I do not have the blacksmiths.
Blacksmiths? I
Well, yes.
might know a dwarven blacksmith, actually.
Well, if you send them to me and some... I would probably need some metal of sorts, small deposit perhaps. I could perhaps sell my prototype.
I shall have to see what I should do. I assume that for now it should be a secret.
Indeed, yes, you must be sworn.
My lord, you have it upon my word, my honor, and my life, that I shall not speak a word of this to anyone else without first consulting your good self.
Roll a charm test. Because I assume you're going to go and just tell everyone else. You have the better roll. He eyes you up and down for a bit. Sees you have a soft chin. Believes you.
Well, you do have a soft chin, so you're probably telling the truth.
Thank you, my lord. Your trust means the utmost to me.
Okay, well, we will talk again. I will speak to my what's his name, Jones. Speak to Jones if you need me. It's past bedtime now.
Good night, sir. I'm going to go back to the others.
Okay.
Well,
Wow, he lives.
so the implications of that thing are enormous. That could be a heck of a weapon. Unfortunately, it only goes forwards and backwards.
When you say forwards and backwards, you don't mean we can't turn it, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
If we can't turn it, it doesn't really do very much for us, I'm afraid, at the moment. And he sent off for funding, he said, to try and complete the design so that he can make it do such things. He's open to the idea of military applications and whatnot, but I don't think he has much money left himself, if I'm any judge of character. At least not what he wants of his own money to put into this. I think this might be flogging a dead horse, as they say, for now, but definitely something to watch out for. I mean, even if we head southwest tomorrow, it's without that thing, it's I'm sure it'll come in handy later if we can get it up and running.
But if it can go forwards and backwards, we've set up defences to make sure that everyone can be funneled into it. So
I was thinking more of visiting our friends tomorrow.
I'm thinking more if we're attacked tonight.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it's something to keep in the back pocket if things start to go awry.
How long's it been since the last attack?
They don't tend to keep to a timetable.
Meta-wise, like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. They certainly could come back if they were aware that people were still alive.
Well,
Well, you mean like firing a gunshot in the middle of town?
That would do it, yeah.
they know we're here. You don't
do
just
now.
you don't just turn up with 10 with a group of 10 guard and not get noticed.
Yes, I suspect they do know we're here, looking at the birds.
Gentlemen, it's always a bit creepy when the music stops, isn't it?
Still going for me.
Yeah, it's okay with me.
Oh, great. I'm glad it's just me.
Yeah, on your own there, son.
Yeah, fine. Don't mind me. I'm just me and my music will do a thing. I'll assume you guys pack in for the night.
Yep.
Yep.
Get some sleep. It's relatively uneasy sleep, but at least you know that there are guard here now. Even though they're your own and you bought them, it's comforting, like a blanket you bought from Tom. It's a Tom blanket, which isn't a great blanket, but it's still
No blanket.
better than somewhere without a blanket. Indeed. Morning arrives, and fairly refreshed. You have yourselves the day ahead of you, with lots to do, potentially.
Oh, so that's cool. We lived.
Yep.
Good start.
Morning.
Well, no attack. We've got an entire day of daylight ahead of us. Anything we want to do here?
I think we've done all we can.
I think we're on to quickly investigating
Yep.
the camp.
Yeah.
See if
Yes, should
can,
we take
get
a walk?
feel for that situation. Hopefully we don't have to fight our way back out, but it would be good to see what they're up to.
Indeed. Should we go by ourselves, or should we take some guard with us?
It's a difficult one. We could take the guard for the, guard, but if we travel as a smaller group, we might go unnoticed.
Are we bringing Ed with us?
I look at Ed's. Was it the raiders who killed your family?
It seems
Yeah.
tentative.
Kind of
And-
quiet, ain't he?
He's a mute, mate.
Nods at the raiders killing the family, but seems nervous, but not terrified. Just nervous.
You fought much before?
Pulls 2 fingers out and measures about 2 inches between the two of them.
So, not a lot, right. I think, well, it's up to you, mate, but, if we do get into some shit, you need to be able to fight your way out of it.
You might have to kill a couple of them.
If you can't fight, you might always be able to help in some other way.
They just run off into the distance, not with a panicked look on their face, just like they're off to do something.
I blink. Well, I didn't intend to send him off running like that, but all right.
Either he's gone to gear up, or he's gone to do something. I don't really know the guy very much, you know. Just said maybe we get some revenge for him on the undead and the raiders and stuff like that, but
Well, either he'll
So
come
his
back
own
or he
plans.
won't. So, just the 4 of us, or take a couple of guard with us, or leave the rest here, or...
I think it's going to be a 4. I think we're looking at a 4-man job here.
We're expecting six raiders if the on the top end, right?
We're just going to take a look, I should say. I wouldn't want to go too deep.
Right.
Not for now, at least.
And if they got undead with them, I say we turn tail.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, we don't have the numbers for that. We'll have to fight them here.
Well, I mean, if they do see us, perhaps that will provoke the fight here.
Well, hope you like running.
Oh, yes, second to swimming, oh boy.
Do we know they got any horses or anything they could chase us down on?
Let's hope not.
Yes, he did mention a couple of horses.
That they use a couple of mules they use to pull the gate down.
Mules aren't horses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Who knows what they got at camp though, but I guess we aim to find out.
Well, shall we, gentlemen?
We shall.
Yeah, why not?
We'll wait just a couple minutes to see if that Ed feller comes back.
we'll see
I'm
him on
sure
the way
we'll
out.
catch up. We're not exactly running ourselves, are we?
Right. Good point.
We'll walk over to Lord Edinger. My lord,
Hello, yes.
we're going to go and take a look at these raiders. From
Oh,
a
right, yes.
distance, of course. Perhaps you would order the gates to be open for us. if you
Ah,
would, if you
yes,
can.
yes. Jones!
Running over is Jones.
Please open the western gate. And, wish our friends good luck.
Thank you, my lord. And our conversation from last night. Perhaps you could have a look at any preparations that might be made in case we should need it. Gives him a wink.
Oh, well, I can see about working. I'll need a few blacksmiths and about a month, but give me time and I'll have your prototype.
I just meant, in case we needed it in a hurry to, looks around furtively like I'm trying not to let anyone else hear. In case we needed to go forwards over a few of the enemy.
Oh, right, well, you'll have to get them in front of it, though. Remember?
Yes, of course. Gives him another wink.
And it's currently facing this way.
Points southeast.
Right, is there a gate in that direction?
No.
Marvellous. Well, that'll be us then. Thank you.
No problem. Oh, enjoy the fog. Goodbye.
The fog?
Yes, the fog. Well, Drakenfeld's fog.
Shit.
The root of the Tarm, the River Tarm, the Bogan, the fog. No, never mind. Oh, wow, okay. Well, the River Bogan has lots of fog. Drakenfels has fog. I think there's a correlation, personally. Anyway, it would appear...
Meanwhile, Edward taps you on the shoulder. Rex has a crossbow in hand.
Oh, nice.
It's not a big crossbow, but it looks relatively well maintained.
Crossbow.
Homemade, probably.
Right. So, by the feet of Drakenfell, the fog gets more dense. It's not so much a fog, more of a smoke. Some sort of... well, it's smoke, quite frankly. So, yes, it's hard to see things when you get close. It's been like that for years.
Right. Good to know.
Yes, don't breathe too much of it in. Makes an awful cough.
Right. We were hoping not to get that close. Besides, we wouldn't want any of them following us back here, would we?
Oh, well, they know where to come. They've been here before plenty of times.
Right, but if we go poking round there, they might come following us back here.
Oh, yes, well, I better lock the gates. Make sure they know that you're not coming from here. Don't worry, if you come back, we'll shoot you so they don't come in, knowing that you're not coming from here.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, guys.
Well, that would be a total shame. Especially when I was going to get some blacksmiths and some metal for you, but... Well, you know... You must do what you must do and all that.
It is 2 hours away, so... Pardon me saying, but I do not think you can run that far. Or fast.
That is a good point.
They do have horses.
Indeed, yes.
So
And
they
that's
will
what-
run you down before you arrive back. Marvellous. Problem solved.
It works for everybody.
Waddles off, really happy that the problem's solved.
Balls.
It's all
They
right.
said they've got horses.
Yeah. We can do something about that.
Thick
Yes.
fog that you can't see through and makes you cough, which is going to mean that we have to get really close and we're not going to be quiet.
Maybe we should bring guards then. They won't see us from a distance because of the fog, right?
Yes, perhaps
Liz.
perhaps we can take some rags and put them over our noses and mouths. Maybe that might filter it out a little.
Liz, if they've been bolstering their numbers with undead from the area, they probably outnumber us even with the guard.
Well, let's see how close we can get, and we can always make a decision if you want to get any closer or turn back.
True.
Yeah, if there's undead, we gotta turn back. There's upwards of 14 of them, plus the raiders.
I suspect there's a lot more.
Probably.
Gentlemen?
Or there might be a lot less.
Do y'all have that kind of luck?
No.
Not often.
That's,
You know, corpses and people. Sure.
How many guard would you like to take?
Taking any, are we?
so I don't know, we've trained up the village people for fighting some. Hydra, how many village people do we have capable of combat here that have been trained minimally?
How many that have been trained minimally? So some have been doing domestic work with you. As to whether or not they're... There we go. I would say you have that many that are potentially capable of fighting. The rest are more...
Cannon fodder?
Yeah, meat shields.
I mean,
Half
I
of
say
them
we
know
take,
that the
I say we
pointy end
take
goes to the
half
enemy.
the guard and leave the other half with instructions of what to do if we don't return,
I'm liking that idea, Henrik.
and what to do if we do return and we have somebody hot on our heels so we don't get shot in the face.
The people here got walls to protect them. They got traps, barricades, and what have you. They got a much better chance of making it through than we do on our own.
Indeed. Lothar, would you like to take grab up say 5 of your finest men?
Ain't a bit fast and loose with the word fine there, mate.
No harm in being polite, old boy.
Yes. Yes, fine. We'll take half.
All agreed?
Certainly.
Sure.
All right. There's your answer. 5, please.
5 guard.
Just a moment while Hydra adds more enemies that are going to pop out of the darkness. 5
thinking-
guard? Fine. You shall face 50 enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, everything is absolutely fine. Because
So
you gentlemen...
The plan is to travel as quietly as possible, and obviously not sneaking all the way, but keeping an eye out for signs of anyone or anything that might be watching us until we start to get in sight of Drakenfall Castle
Sure.
and the area, and then we will be on the outskirts and sort of see what we can see before making any further decisions.
The majority of the journey is relatively quiet. As you go, a few crows up on branches observe you walking past, but otherwise all is relatively peaceful until you reach a point that a fairly thick mist starts to set in. You can see dark rain clouds over Castle Drakenfeld's up in the distance, and way off to the east, directly from where you are now, there's a very small pinprick light that looks like that of a campfire.
Can't see anything, but yeah, sure.
You'll have to mouse wheel out quite a lot for that. Oh no, yeah.
No,
Well, you're
I'm on
in
black screen.
Yeah. You're a new token, okay? You weren't supposed to be here today.
Yeah, I see.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right.
So everyone got a handkerchief or a rag to tie around the face? Sorry, what?
Sorry, and I lift the handkerchief. Already ahead of you.
Well, I wouldn't
Lower
take it
back
off your
down.
face. You'll cough. Shakes his head.
Rex just rolls his eyes at this. Not that they can see that, but
Okay.
I'm already wearing my mask.
So, what's the plan?
Not get spotted.
Perhaps some to either side, spread out a little. I move as slowly as possible,
Lightly as possible, yeah.
and that too. That's totally what I meant to say.
Should we perchance change our angle of approach a little bit?
That's what I mean. Perhaps we spread out a little, and
I
with a
gotcha,
slightly
I
wider
gotcha.
angle.
As long as you can still get away.
so
Indeed.
before we go in, is there a couple of trees that I could tie a rope off onto, creating a strip line?
Sure. Yes.
So this strip line will be at horse height, so it'll be a head height.
Horse height. Good to know.
Yeah. So, boys, before we go in, I've tied this rope here. If horses are chasing you, run underneath it.
Got it.
All
Just
right.
remember it's here.
Just remember it's here.
What you
Do
want,
we,
sir? God,
do we see any crows?
yes. They're in the trees watching you.
Okay. Perhaps we split up into two parties. Go around the edge a little bit and approach from two different sides.
Yeah,
Maybe not
fine.
too far apart, or just create a line and sort of walk forwards.
No, spread out.
But
I'd
okay.
spread it. Splitting into groups would be a good idea.
Yes, split the guard up too.
The guard mumble about being split up. What with that? Causing there to be two tokens and such.
Okay. Well, since everybody's gone down there, I shall go up this way with some guard.
In that case, I will go up to the north. Didn't realise
Okay.
those two were going that way.
Jaeger's going off on his own. Okay. Henrik, some bodyguard, and Lothar, and we have Miss Jebediah. Sorry.
It's
Mysterious Jebediah.
yeah.
I can't spell Jebediah. That'll do. Right, but before before you go all the way over there, motherfuckers, roll me a challenging perception roll, please. Everyone.
And I crit.
Okay.
As the 90.
Ooh, I crit.
So the
Got 33.
both people on the south side of crit.
Okay. Oh dear. Right. So down south, Jebediah and Rex, you see two figures that are faced away from you. One is holding a shield. The other, some sort of hand weapon. They are, judging by your rolls, questionably living, or they look drunk to you, Rex and Jebediah. Swaying and moving. I'd say Rex is probably more confident of them not being living than Jebediah, just given your experience, but you can see them about 15 yards ahead. They don't seem to have seen you.
I quietly look at Rex, inquisitive eyes.
And I'll just give like a hand signal back, finger across the neck.
Right. And what we have at the moment is a situation where the bodyguard next to Lothar and Henrik point to the two Deadites up ahead and say, "Sir, Deadites up ahead." The Deadites, at that point, Lothar, do seem to be turning toward you, but you have the upper hand. And I'm going to say Jebediah and Rex also have the opportunity to act before these two individuals. So
We're not on the initiative table.
no, but you guys are kind of outside of initiative right now. You're just going beforehand. Let's do Jebediah and Rex first, and then we'll come up to what's going on up north. So, Rex and Jebediah, what's your plan of approach, first of all?
Okay, so basically they're alive but dead.
It would
dead,
look that way.
wherever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're alive but dead. So, character-wise, I don't really know what this is, because I know the difference between the ghoul and the skeleton, but they're neither. But this isn't...
Yeah, that's a good point. I
don't have law undead on me, so...
Yeah.
I just beat the shit out of them for a living.
Yeah. I would say you would feel that they're of that persuasion, but yes, you might not know exactly what's going on.
Do I only see two?
You do indeed.
That's 15 meters in front of me, which means that there's probably another 7 behind them.
You have a choice. They've not seen you. You do whatever you wish. We can come back to you and resolve what's going on up north if you like.
Yeah, do you want to resolve first?
Let's see what's going on up there. Lothar, on your shoulder, your compadres have spotted them. Sir, you see the Deadites up there? What do we do, sir? This is out of initiative.
Yeah. So, can I use my lore undead to figure out whether hiding is going to actually do shit all?
I will say you don't need to use that lore undead because you know that they're already starting to turn around the moment your guard said, "Sir, the Deadites are up there." The two bodies in front of you started twitching toward you. Yes.
So it's too late to just grab Henrik and dive to the floor.
You're rolling initiative. Well, I've rolled initiative.
Yeah. Okay. So we're doing this.
It's not to say you could try and shake them, but equally they're aware of something. So it's not to say that you're committed, but that they are aware of some noise that's been made. So up to you.
It is a tree line behind us, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm going to motion to the guard to get back into it, and then try and grab Henrik quietly and head back towards it. At least if they come after us, it's further away from the camp.
Now, Henrik's initiative in this roll, God bless him, is -6.
Uh-oh.
So can you make me a roll to quickly drag him out of there?
Cool. What do you want?
Whatever you think's appropriate.
Range thrown.
Because apparently with -6, he's not paying attention.
Hunt him into the undergrowth.
Just punch him in. Yeah. Strength. I'm guessing.
You can do whatever you think is
Yeah.
appropriate. You could do leadership. You could do a quick order. You could do a dexterity, just to hand signals. Whatever you think's appropriate.
Well, if he's not paying attention, then waving my hands at him in the dark isn't going to help.
Sure. Well, he's not paying attention to them, let's say. But sorry, Emmerich. That's what the dice said. Not.
Yeah.
I haven't shot you yet, so it's okay.
Actually, yeah. So is this a challenging test?
Yes. It's quickly, it's spur of the moment.
So let's have a go.
Ooh.
That'll do.
Oh, well.
I will say, with that, you can boost his initiative by +4, which is going to put him above the zombies by 1.
Yep.
And...
So, grab his arm, tell him to fall back along with me and the guard, and we'll either lure them back or they'll lose us.
Into the tree line and see what they do.
You go into the tree line. For this, you don't necessarily need to make a stealth test now. You can just sit there. What you hear is a thud, thud. A little bit of searching around. And they seem to go back. Meanwhile, we're going to go down south. Well done, a near miss. Congratulations. Not that that's the objective. Perhaps the objective is just to die. Jebediah and Rex. You've seen these two, they've not seen you. What would you like to do?
I am just a stevedore, so I am all eyes on Rex, waiting to follow his lead or do as instructed.
I'm gonna throw a rock on the opposite side of them.
Okay. Make a... Now, ordinarily, I would say ballistic skill, but I'm kind of thinking this is a bit of a question as to how far you can throw it.
Well,
I still think ballistic skill will do. Yeah, range throwing is good. Let's say... Let's say... it's not in combat, but you are going to try and do it fairly quickly. Let's go with challenging, but don't worry. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. Not with a roll like that.
Oh,
it's not.
my word. Okay. That's like you hit Jebediah.
Don't hit me with it, yeah.
Okay.
Not terrible.
Okay, so the -1 is like no but. So it doesn't go quite so far behind them as you like. It lands between them and catches their attention. They are roused. But it's not a disaster. They're not necessarily pointed in your direction either. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask what you do here. Jebediah's watching this unfold.
I just sort of do like the head shake of the fuck.
Yeah, I'm looking very nervous at this point.
Wasn't supposed to happen. Just gonna sort of just stay put.
I know
they'll work. They'll fight amongst themselves in a minute.
Okay.
We'll go stumbling around a little bit.
So you're going to try and just
hide.
Easy stealth for the two of you.
Okay.
Ugh.
I was going to say you don't need to roll a perception just yet, because you don't need to use a reroll just yet. Let me roll a initiative for them. So stick yourself. Yeah. You can reimburse. Yeah, okay. They have no hope in hell. Basically, the two of them are just flailing around this rock for about 20 seconds. Jebediah disappears into a bush. You have no idea where he is.
Do that whole into a bush.
Yeah, the bodyguard are also out of sight. But this, let's just say, allows all of you to regroup, because all of you are hiding in bushes right now. So I feel like now's you might as well just all have a little chat with each other. So, gentlemen, bush, gentlemen. I'm gonna get a beer.
Well,
Right, so fucking zombies, great.
Yeah, and there's a camp up ahead by the looks of the light.
So these are obviously.
If we start making noise.
Yeah, I'd say we'd need to go and see what that camp's about. We need more information if we can get it, but
Getting past these zombies is hard. Because, unless you can throw a rock properly, which I failed to do this time. Landed in between them, didn't it?
And do you boys think that they might have just scattered the zombies out in this direction? Undead in this direction, and maybe if we try circling past them a bit, we might find an opening.
Thing is, if they've got 14 of them, they could have them spread around quite a lot. We were already quite far apart, and we just walked into them.
well, perhaps if we're a little more stealthy, we might be able to get a bit of a view.
I've been working docks all my life. I'm only particularly stealthy in the city, just avoiding the wife, what have you.
Well, getting around is it's gonna be half. The only other thing I can think of is just you kill them quick. But I think that would make noise.
Well, I mean, there's only a few of them. Perhaps we can mob them. Quietly
Another
as
10
possible.
and another 6 men.
We don't know what's behind them.
And that's why I say if we have a little scout forward, maybe just one of us.
Where's Reinhold when you need him?
Indeed.
Got more sense.
I mean, if it fails, we run like hell, right?
Don't forget about the rope.
Indeed.
Yes.
Now we know for sure that there's a couple in each of the directions we just checked, so maybe we move a little bit and have somebody scout in a new direction.
Down the middle?
Go further up.
Well, further down, then further up.
Either or.
Try it.
Yep.
We know what to expect now. Hopefully we don't just walk into them again.
Alright, gentlemen. What's the approach?
South
Slow
or
and steady?
north?
Yeah, we're going to circle further, either south or north.
Okay. With guard
and see
or
if we can
without?
get up and round. Well, we'll all go up there, and then maybe 1 or 2 people will.
Why don't we have the guard as like a rear guard?
Yeah.
Like as a
That's
like
what I'm
so
thinking.
like if they stay put here and
Stay hidden.
stay hidden, then if we get into shit, they can sort of bust out and.
I mean, they did just save us.
So basically not rolling stealth tests is what you want for the guard.
Yeah, basically.
Makes sense?
Okay.
Okay.
What about Ed? Where did Ed go?
Yeah, Ed's around somewhere. He's mixed in with the guard currently.
Is he currently being eaten by zombies? Is that what you're telling me?
He rolled a 1 on his stealth check.
Yeah.
Alright, south it is, because that's where Rex is going.
Yeah, sure.
So we head
there's
the south.
Oh, there's
There it
Ed.
is.
You go down
He was in a
south.
bush.
Ed
He
is
was in
there.
a bush the whole time.
And as I'm traveling with them, I just look back at the guards and say, "Boys, hearing gunfire, you come down and help us out, all right?"
Oh, sure. We'll come help you out.
Alright, I say try and stick to trees, possibly. I found one.
Before you go running off too far, someone roll me a dice, please.
What kind of dice would you like rolled?
1d10, Rex.
1d10.
Oh no.
Okay.
You're now in the same corridor you were in. I have nightmares.
You get whipped by the ankle, bro. Gives a new meaning to the phrase "get whipped." Right, yeah, okay. So you're sneaking along. Let's have some. Who's on point here? Who's going first? So I'm not having 4 perception rolls.
Kinda looks like I'm going first at the minute.
Sneaky Henrik. Let's have a
challenging.
If you pass me an easy stealth test, I'll let you do an average perception. Okay, average perception for me, please, as you sneak under a couple of trees.
Average perception. I actually succeeded a perception test.
Okay.
Oh my god, mark the date.
Directly to your east, twice as far as your vision currently allows, you see a couple of shapes move. Catches your attention. More than one, you can't be sure what it is, but about twice as far as your vision will currently allow.
So I'll kind of look at the others who, assuming we're sticking fairly close together, and just sort of like make hand signals, like 2 fingers to the eyes I can see, and then point in that direction. Let's see, can we head a little bit further south?
Henrik.
We're at the edge of the map.
Yeah. Roll me a d10, Henrik.
I have a macro for that.
Okay. Roll me an easy perception this time, Henrik, as he pushes forwards. You see there's something moving ahead. You're not sure how much.
Same thing. Point to my eyes like the whole 2 finger and then point in the direction.
Yep. Rex, challenging perception for me, please.
Oh boy.
Okay. It is really hard to see in here. Let's just see if Edward is rubbish or not.
Yep.
Yep. Stuck in a bush hiding, sorry.
Alright. I'm going to pull back and sort of beckon the others to come back a little bit. I have a feeling they're all stood out in the line. I don't think we're going to get past without having to take some of these on.
And do you have another option?
Go on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were with me at the time, but when we were in the Haga crypts, and we were chasing after the...
I'm fine, don't worry.
I was about to say, what the fuck was that?
I kicked a bottle off of my desk by putting my feet up. It's okay, I'm very relaxed right now. Let's go.
when we were following the Griffin and the Terrorgeist, and called on Mamidia to give me sight beyond what I can normally see.
Well, I mean, we can't
like
see. You can't see shit in here.
You got some kind of priestly powers. Go right ahead and use them.
Gonna be safer than running through there. I mean, she might ignore me, but it's safer than traipsing through.
Who's
Worth
she?
a try.
Mamidia.
Oh, So I thought you were talking about somebody out in the mist.
Perhaps we should all sort of back off a little while he does this, in case a giant foot comes down and squashes him.
From what I heard, that's a green skin
I
thing.
run
But
off behind
okay.
the bush. Very
Lothar,
far.
let's see if Mimidia is going to be the Italian spicy tart
Temptress.
that she has been in the past and giving you a giant middle finger.
Oh,
Oh, good
God.
lord.
Right.
Wrath of
Wait,
the
that-
gods.
Succeeded?
Do you have a 1 on your sin points?
No, I have a 2, so...
It's a
Double
1
up?
or if a unit dice is a 1 or a 2. If you've got 2 sin points, then 1 or a 2 on the unit dice equals wrath.
Perhaps
Yeah.
a reroll?
Yeah.
Do you want to reroll the prayer test before she fucks
It'll-
you?
Not in a good way.
That was Mr. Mayo tick that.
It's not a giant fist that comes out of the sky.
A lightning bolt.
It's a blazing dick.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Okay.
no.
Oh no, it's still a 1. Corruption
Yeah,
reroll.
apparently.
It might not be a wrath.
Yeah, sure.
It might actually be one of those few dice rolls that's actually worth a corruption reroll.
It's still a 2.
But it's
Oh, well,
not.
well.
But it's
But that
not a
doesn't count.
wrath. It's not a wrath.
But you're not dead. That's the main thing.
Yes, not
But
a blaze. which is
Mimidia's
good.
also. Let's just see what that would have been. Oh, okay, okay. In either case, Mimidia was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Okay. Yay, priests.
What can you see? See anything?
He's just going to still be kneeling down, praying at that point.
I think you see his life clasped before his eyes. I haven't done anything.
Probably get a hint of annoyance, yeah.
I'm just gonna go to Jebediah and just shake my head. Like, this happens a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we have 2 choices. One, we move forward as quietly as possible, and we're trying to take them down in small groups along the path that we're taking, or we turn around and go.
Well, there is one more potential option. Although, I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy doing it. We set fire to a tree. And be somewhere else.
Jebediah's scratching his chin, running his hands through his hand through his beard. Well, how do undead react to fire? I mean, I don't know the people will come over, but will these things?
They're not really bothered about self-preservation.
Indeed, but they're not going towards the campfires.
Oh,
Well,
makes a good point.
they might have investigated a big fire.
I think everything else probably will, actually.
But you never know, there might be a war nearby and wipe them all out for us.
Yeah, I mean, we could always do it and just keep our distance and see who comes over. Before we do it, though, maybe we should, since we have scouted down a bit further, maybe we should bring the guards a bit closer.
Well,
Or we
I
could
said
light
this-
this tree that we're under right now.
Well, as I said, it's not exactly a great idea.
Yeah.
The
I
only other, there is another option of try and just chuck stuff, bring them closer to us, and then ambush them, and hopefully we kill them before they make too much noise.
I'd say that's probably our option.
Just can't use no black powder weapons, though.
I don't tend to. It's just easier for the ride.
Perhaps from the north, where there's more tree cover, we could ambush them in the trees.
I would say so. So,
Alright.
Lothar, are you done yet?
Going to see about maybe try once more.
No.
Sure. Ordinarily, I'd say no, but for the lols, sure.
Yeah. See if it does it again. Probably be a 1. Oh, there we go.
Hey, there we go.
That was almost a natural 1, which would still
Like-
have fucked me.
For fuck's sake, Mimidia, I said sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop
Stop
being
being a mopey bitch.
Stop being so mopey. Yeah, just like, but my... Fine. I'll help you, I guess, if I have to. Then an eagle pops out your butthole. No. Yeah, so I assume you're doing eagle's eyes. So, in amongst the mist, a eagle... Firstly...
Spectral eagle.
Yeah, I'll say for the sake of narrative, you hear a slight car of the eagle up ahead. It circles around you once or twice before spiraling down and landing on your arm. It looks like a misty concoction of bird and smoke to those watching. More bird than smoke, but something fishy to it. Well, something Italian.
I'm watching in silent wonderment. I've never seen anything like this.
And launch the eagle forward, and then I'll be blind because I'll be seeing through its eyes. So my eyes will mist over the same as the consistency of the eagle.
Absolutely. And I'm going to ask you to roll me a d10 3 times, 3 separate rolls, so please.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. There are a lot more dead here than you were anticipating, Lothar. The eagle's eyes, despite the smoky scenery, are able to pierce through better than yours. And after flying around for perhaps a minute, you're able to see that north, far north of where your guard are currently stationed, there is but 2 lonely undead that are shambling around. The centre, currently, so northeast of where you are now, there is a rather large mass of them. You have, at best guessed, counted about 45 in total. Lots.
Do I see any humans around the campfires?
I will say, if I will assume you rolled a pretty decent roll. So yes, there is about 5 individuals. But 5 individuals, a horse, gathered around a campfire, and they seem to be gathered around not just the campfire, but a chest, and having a conversation.
Does this particular power grant him the power of the hearing?
No.
No.
Acute senses generally eyesight.
Balls.
Yeah, they're eagles, not Prince Charles.
All right, Jesus.
Does Lothar inform us of the quantity of enemies?
Yes.
After he snaps out of it, yes. Lothar, you're back.
So is that, guys,
north.
burning the tree is a really bad idea. I counted at least 45 undead, mostly in the middle.
45.
And we're leaving, boys.
Yeah.
Did we see
There's
any
a-
clear path so we could get to the campfire?
There's not a clear path. There's far to the north, there's only 2 undead stumbling around. But at the campfire itself, there's about 5 humans gathered round a chest talking, and a horse.
Chat.
If we can get past the 2 up top or take them out quietly, we might be able to get closer.
Or we end up with the mass in the middle descending on us.
45 undead.
We can't beat
No.
that even in the town.
It ain't worth it.
We're gonna have to pass on this one now, boys. It's a
Yeah.
lot worse than we thought.
Very well.
I've got a feeling that these might have been some of Yettenberg's as well.
Well, there's a lot more here than apparently attacked the nearby town, so...
Yeah, well, there's not 40 people in that fucking town.
No.
Well, You reckon they attacked another town? We just ain't heard about it?
They did a couple of weeks beforehand.
Shit. So there's gathering them all over here.
And they'll have been attacking travellers and all sorts. The Strigani said they were attacking. They attacked his caravan a while back. Anyone they kill, they've recruited.
Yes. Well, gentlemen, it might be a good time to leave.
Leaving. Right,
I
let's leave.
support that decision.
Let's go grab the gentleman.
Yeah.
Ed, let's go, mate.
Ed,
Retrieve the god.
as you turn around, Rex has disappeared.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, it's not, is there?
I don't know where he is, but I mean, he's mute. He ain't deaf. He heard what we were saying.
Oh, Ed's disappeared. That's what I said. Rex has disappeared.
If he's taking it upon himself to go seek out some kind of suicidal vengeance, so be it. But he didn't get my agreement to die amongst 45 undead.
That's your rewind.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, your eyes fell out again.
I'll say for a 99 Rex, for a moment you feel lost, but fortunately there's quite a few people around you to help reorientate.
Retrace our steps, go back and collect the soldiers, and although I'd much rather push on across the north, I really think we could do this, Rex.
Mate, 45.
I appreciate your insight, Henrik, but if anything goes wrong, we are as good as dead. 45 and the 5 humans, and then the 2, you said there were 2 up there, that's 52 people. That's 52 enemies. That is more than 10 to 1.
How fast are the dead people?
Fast
I don't need to
enough.
find out.
They might not be
amble.
fast, but they are persistent.
They don't slow down.
So the thing is that they're gonna be here, all right? And either we come back here later and they're out doing something else, or they're still here. But either way, they're coming back for sure. We can get more help, something. But this is gonna get us killed.
I got a feeling that Ed's dying.
Everything's fine.
Either that, or he's taking out all of the zombies by himself.
I don't
Comes
think
back
he's
and
right
is
now.
like,
One more.
he signals, "I've killed them all."
One more. Hang on. Yeah? No.
It's determined. It wants 5.
Okay, so good news. You're having this conversation, and Ed rocks up holding 2 heads. He also has a massive gash across his stomach that is bleeding a lot and has a dagger stuck inside of him. It looks like it's sort of self-cauterized around the wound.
The hell you doing, boy?
I'm gonna see about healing him.
I say he's cleared the way up north, Rex.
He rolled a natural 1, so it's like dude's off to do something, you know. He's having a thing. Okay, yeah, you put a bandage around the dagger in his chest. That's not to say you have to push forwards, but he's just like his 2 heads
Right, I just
and kicks one.
Drag him into the bush. But what the fuck do you think you're doing?
Could have gotten us killed.
He grabs the crossbow, points it at the head, points at the hole in the head, and points at the other one.
Congratulations, what a cracking shot, mate. But for fuck's sake, don't just go and attack the undead. Jesus.
Oh, way's clear now, Rex.
For fuck's sake. Right, I just hand Ed a bottle and say, chill here.
Don't go alert nobody.
You're not coming? Okay.
So where do we go?
Fine.
Up
Ish.
north and...
Very north.
Following.
Good job he didn't get drunk, really.
We can't say anything.
No, that's true. That is true.
And There we go. We're at the top of the map now.
You're at the top of the map. There are 2 dead zombies there, so you can basically move directly east. And
Oh.
yeah, yes,
there,
there
Will.
are lots. Everyone make me an easy stealth roll.
What?
Oh,
fuck.
you got any rerolls left?
Yeah. Oh, seriously? Like,
Oh.
that's now the second. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I mean, hang on. Let me roll a perception first, actually, before I make you burn your reroll. So, fortunately for you, the perception of a zombie is absolutely
Rolled a 1.
Yeah.
okay. Fine, you can have your reroll back.
Thank you. -8. Wow.
Rex is having a bad day for sneaking, but it's fine because he's sneaking against people that, if they weren't here in a world that had windows, they would probably be. Never mind. Let's carry on.
Stuck to them.
Yeah, so, yeah, stuck to them is a good one. You can see the light down south of you. Still some distance away. It's directly south. Everyone roll me an average perception, please.
Is this along the route that I would have spotted was
Yeah.
relatively clear?
Jesus.
Okay.
I'm
Got
going
back
to
to being
reroll.
blind.
Jebediah's using eagle eyes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Just doesn't know it.
Yeah, glaucoma.
Okay.
I crit at least.
There are still some stragglers here, despite the fact Jebediah seems to have found his belly button. Rex, you did crit, and you've noticed that there are a few figures moving between you and this light. Not many, and they're very dispersed, but it looks like you're probably going to need to pick one off in order to move through. I mean, by all means, come up with another idea, but
It's for us for silent because we don't have anything silent to knacker them with.
I've got a bow.
Huh?
I mean, if you do it from far enough away, it's fairly silent, but I need to be able to see them.
I think our better bet is to just like make a bit of noise. And they'll come over hopefully, and then we bundle them.
How many come over there?
Hopefully one, because it's only there's only a solitary one roaming about at the moment.
they're quite spaced out,
There seems to... Sorry, go on.
so don't roll badly, would be my
Failing
suggestion.
that is 43.
Yeah,
Perhaps we
failing
use
that, you could
these-
just...
Use these rocks for cover.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just hide, and then we just chuck a stone every now and then, and see if we can get anybody to take the bait.
Well,
Really?
now's the time to...
Unfortunately, my ranged thrown is kind of shit.
Well, it's better than I don't have range thrown, so...
Alright, so gonna throw a rock,
Sure.
basically, sort of like to the northeast of us.
Okay.
What do you want? Average challenging.
Average range throw for this. You're not going for too far.
Thank fuck for the average,
That'll
because that would
do.
have paused on challenging.
Yeah, that'll do. So you spot with a little bit of an opening. It's a little bit hairy, but effectively, I'll assume you kind of guide the others.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
sort
going to
of
ask
martial.
for everyone. I'm really sorry, but one more easy stealth test as you move just between a couple of packs of zombies.
Oh my word!
Oh, now you can roll really well. Okay. There you go. I'll just to wiggle you about a little bit, I'll say, there we go. So, 2 fires are in front of you. There are a couple of horses that are near the fire. And there are a few individuals conversing around it. This is what you picked up on before, Lothar, at least. Now, we would probably need some perception rolls in order to gather more detail.
Challenging.
Challenging, I'm afraid. 'Tis dark. Unless anyone has night vision.
No.
You said challenging, is that right?
Yeah.
Good lord.
Henrik fumbles.
Oh my god.
Fumbles twice.
Fumbles twice?
Loafer's the only one listening.
Yeah. Lothar, you can make out figures roughly where they are, so I'll give you like a little bit of an extra bit of intel there in terms of what you can see.
Yep.
So you can kind of make out where they are. You can see a few of them gathered around. 2 of them are kneeling in front of a chest currently, and there seems to be some sort of conversation taking place. It's difficult from where you are to make out what's being said. Henrik, I'm afraid you found Jebediah's belly button. by the looks of it.
Collaborative effort.
Collaborative, yeah. It's an Howdy or an innie.
So do we... Yeah, that is a building, isn't it?
It is. It's like a
Murky shape in
barn or
distance.
Once upon a time it was a barn, perhaps.
So can we go through the trees, rocks, bits behind and try and get against the building and then listen from there so it's closer?
Okay. Well, you have that
circle
intel.
round a little bit.
Whoever's going there, I'll ask for an easy stealth, because you've spotted a route that seems to be relatively unpatrolled. I'll ask for a better stealth.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll get right on that, hopefully. And it's not a 90.
Oh, Heinrich's...
Oh, there you go. Is that better?
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
Surprised I even had to roll one with my fucking natural one last game.
Okay.
Do I need to roll? Is there any roll stealth?
Only if you're going. You don't have to go. You can stay put. It's up to you.
I better stay with the group.
I'll stay with the group. Then you can
move
roll.
with the group. Right?
Yeah, go on. Easy stealth. Don't fail it. God, that
And
would...
he's going to be walking along shouting about his belly button.
99. No, damn.
The natural 100.
Hey guys, I found a belly button.
I say it
Average
to the hoodlums.
average perception for the group.
Each or one person?
Each, but you'll need a... Okay, well, if you roll like that, it really doesn't matter. Okay, Henrik, finally. Someone roll
Lothar
well.
and Henrik are the only people paying attention here.
You can all roll, but +6 it will get you what you want, +4 will get you most of what you want. So for Lothar first, you can hear a couple of them conversing, and not only that, but listening to another voice that seems to be coming from the other side of this barn. It's very difficult to make out the voice, but you can hear them refer to this thing as Master. I will say, Henrik, between the slats of this barn, you can see that the 2 individuals that are crouched next to this chest that is open are actually speaking to it. And you can make out that it is the chest that is responding. The words you make out are that they have been gathering troops, gathering bodies for the cause. They have just a few places left to strike before they have sufficient numbers that they may finally claim... Not claim. Let me revoke that. Remove the threat and extinguish the light.
Oh, good.
Not ominous at all.
Hmm.
So do they then finish the conversation and shut the chest, or?
I will say that there is a little bit of back and forth. Henrik and Lothar, you can hear a whisper back to them. So, despite your rolls, you cannot make out much other than the fact that they are conversing with this. Some 5 minutes probably pass of conversation before the chest is closed and the individuals continue to converse with each other. Mostly about where to attack. And I will, at this point, carry forth Henrik's roll, load up a global map to point to where has not been attacked. And Seedling is the word you hear. Henrik. You don't make out everything, but you hear enough to make you think that they have some intentions to raid this place. Back to you guys.
So I'm just gonna it's hand signals only at the moment. Be like, give the signal. Are they done? Did you hear? Anybody?
Yeah, I'll nod at him.
Shake my head.
Nod as well.
Right, and then both thumbs behind my back. Skedaddle.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I
nod.
In order to escape, for the sake of being a mean GM, everyone roll me
Dick.
easy stealth. Rather than just end the session on a free win. Oh,
fuck me. Jesus Christ.
see if you get away without a combat. Oh, good lord, no. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I
One
got out
reroll
that
looks
one.
good.
Yep. And the other reroll is good too.
Okay, everything's fine. I burned your rerolls at least. It was a possibility. We could have started next week with all shit breaking loose here. But for now, you guys managed to make your way out. Ed's a little bit drunk, but
Void.
still alive, and killed 2 zombies for you, because you're cowards.
I was up for
It's
it.
not so you had to do it, it's just Ed was talked into doing it, so that's what he did. So
When was Ed even talked into it? You just heard.
talked him into it.
recruited him. You recruited him to your cause.
I want to go get vengeance.
True.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. But you don't just go off and start murdering shit when there's 45 of the fuckers nearby.
Well, they killed his family. I mean,
Fine.
basically, Rex got a win without even meaning to. So well done.
I
mean,
don't
no
do
one-
crossbows.
No one said the guy was clever.
Yeah,
True.
I mean, vengeance is a cruel thing. You make your way back to town, somewhat perturbed by what you have heard, probably with a lot to reflect on. I would ask, do you feel the need to have a chat about what you want to reflect on, or is now just a good time to ominously depart?
I do. I want to say a couple of things.
Sure.
Sort of to the group, and it'd be the sort of the conversation once we're out of. Oh, we've just gone through
Holy
the zombies.
That's one of the groups.
Obviously, on the way back, when we're sure that we're safe and we can talk again, is obviously to relay the information about where they said they're going to attack, and then to start spitballing ideas like, can we raise some form of army, maybe intercept them or help, or get some support from some of the lords and stuff to get some troops together to go and defend. I can't remember what he said they were attacking now. Sexland. To go and defend there, that sort of thing.
Sexland, indeed.
Well, they said they're going to do that soon. I mean, how long of a march is that to go there
2
from
days.
where we are? Okay, so call it 4 because they've got a lot of undead.
Reasonable.
So, to be honest...
But was that their next raid target? I can't remember now, Hydra. So that was the next raid target,
That's
wasn't it?
your
Not the main
assumption
target.
from what you've heard.
From
Yes.
what they said.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple of days. We know what sort of size army they've got. -2.
Basically, I would say that the next part of this would be to march to the place and basically be like, you're about to get attacked, we're going to try, this is what Tom's going to lend in support, basically. Because 4 days to get anything together.
Yeah, we don't know what they've got down there. Are there any towns and stuff on the way?
Just the one we came through, I think.
Roll a
Right.
average Lord Reichland. Anyone that feels the need.
They
Got
got
that.
Average Law Reichland. I know everything.
Looking for
Yes,
a
you do. Seedling has a
Uberstrike.
central town,
Ooh.
but there are a few farms on the outskirts. That's all you know of the area. It's not particularly big, but you're probably dealing with 200 people in the town in total, but maybe 10 to 15 farms around the area.
So we'd need to evacuate the farms.
Well, I could take the guard and start the evacuation process.
Yeah.
Maybe
Evacuate
shore up the
farms,
town.
Get them into the town, shore up the town, and defend from the town. Because if we can shred their numbers and perhaps get the humans.
Well, if you go back to, we haven't got any more forces at Tarm. We need to get word to some other city there.
Uberstrike's like the major city down there.
So maybe if you guys went to Uberstrike.
So this will be... Uberstrike's not too far away. It's further away. So if you went to Uberstrike and back again, you'd be pulling like a Gandalf, like arriving mid-battle with a giant glowing staff. Like, it's an option.
That's something Rex would do, I guess. Because he knows that we're fucked. Like...
Yeah. Well, I would take the guard and go and set up defences and organise.
The thing is like there's no runners in this where we are there? We can't just send a runner back to town to say to Sigurd, "Oi, it's gonna get messy."
No,
Send
but there are 2 horses pulling my cart.
Yeah, you
Provided
could
we can saddle them up.
send word back.
Yeah.
Why don't
And
we
send
roll
word forward.
the endeavour table to see what else throws a spanner in the
roll.
works?
Because there's not a big enough one already with fucking...
What we're going to have to do is roll 1d360 for now, and Hydra will read the results to you because basically I need to re-roll the entire damn thing. So,
Come on.
So are we doing endeavour tables?
we are indeed. We are indeed.
You said D360?
Yeah, let's just do a D360, and if you get over what the actual result is, we'll just
Where do I go
change
to
it from there.
manually- Oh, it's here, isn't it?
So you do...
/roll space 1d360 with no space.
Got it.
Yeah, without the dot, and you change it to a 360. Okay, so let's start with 197. One of the shipments of grain that came into the town is said to have sawdust added to it. No one falls ill with a rather unpleasant effect on one's constitution. Please pass an easy endurance test.
Sure.
Okay. You have a sawdust cake, and you do
And
not.
I'm like...
Yeah, you just pass an incredibly firm stool. Not the same.
Champion.
Not quite as firm as Jebediah's stool. It's not mahogany, but
he's pooped out a stool.
It's like a South Park episode on with Bono in there.
There you go, Soren. Some more furniture for you.
okay. Well, this is a handy one for Lothar. Some rare mercenaries. One or more mercenaries turn up to a nearby settlement looking for work. Attilian duelist of great repute. Oh, good fucking lord. The so-called birdmen of Katazar, and some unemployed ogres under the command of a halfling captain. They will need payment, but
Oh boy, have I got the assignment for them.
just as you are heading off from Schwarbrald, mercenaries arrive to be like, yeah, we'll defend this place for gold coin. Oh, we need to defend somewhere else. Sure, they won't be cheap, but that's up to you and Sighard to negotiate the fine details, if you wish or can afford them.
Damn that! The town that we're defending's paying.
Good idea. Then we have 239. You hear someone outside of your room at night. Oh dear, a couple are having a fight. The woman is beating a man with a duck. Not this again. Jebediah, do you break up the fight and risk life and limb? Or do you attempt to quell this quackery?
Is she trying to quack his skull?
You said
Stop it, you. Stop it.
So she's hitting him with a duck, and I have the option of either physically assaulting or talking them down.
I mean, you don't have to physically assault her and gang up on her, but you can do whatever you like in the situation. Do you want to? What do you do? What would you want to do? If you're being
You should probably find out what the mallard is.
So everybody was at once just then. What was that?
Stop it. Get out.
So what would Jebediah do?
What would Jebediah do?
Hit her with a chair.
He would definitely sympathize. Yeah, I would say that he would sympathize with the man and maybe try to chase her off, holding his chair out, like taming a lion, like trying to push her and the duck away.
Okay. Can you roll me an average melee brawling, please?
Okay.
Gonna kill her with a chair. Here comes the chair.
This is to not get wrecked by a duck.
Are you using Rex's stool?
No, he's using his chair. His mahogany awesome chair.
Is that melee or melee basic?
Oh,
or?
do you have melee brawling? I've made an assumption here. What a racist. Okay.
Improvised weapon.
Yeah. So in that case, it will be the weapon skill, I guess, or you can just roll melee, which is what that is. Unless you're trying to be kind of lethal to her. Yeah, let's go for an average melee because it's 2v1.
Okay.
You attempt to. Oh, okay.
Oh shit! He gets a duck in the face.
Yeah.
You know what? Can I do a reroll on that?
You can do a reroll on that if you like.
Yeah. Let me see.
This is for her duck attack. Natural one coming.
Ooh.
Not bad. Not bad.
It's a fortune, I believe.
Yeah.
If you right click the text,
reroll.
there you go.
Oof.
Oh no, he's gonna duck in the face.
Okay. So next session, effectively, you will start with a few wounds from a duck that, when you attempted to break up a domestic dispute within an alleyway, turned rather hostile, and the duck came in your direction. Direction. Quack quack. Ducks come with a speech impediment, apparently.
This is what happens when you try and get involved in a domestic at the quack
Because they don't have lips.
Yeah. We'll see what happens as a result of that quackery, and yeah. But
then Loaf 43.
Yeah, but for now you'll be like, let's just say like minus 2 wounds. You will be able to heal them. It's that they're not permanently gone or anything, but
Can you type that in? Knock it down to 12 there.
And what's the
we
last
go.
one we have to go for? We have Henrik's 43. A humble 43 on the initial table roll.
Probably the worst thing that could happen to him, actually.
Oh. Inclement weather. Particularly bad weather arrives. For the next adventure, all social skills suffer a penalty of -10. Everyone is in a foul mood. Food prices are up by 20%.
Hey,
Okay.
you said I wasn't allowed to do duck puns.
Quack.
Foul mood.
Ha! That was sehr funny. You are English with your duck puns, yeah. Okay, so next session, when you go to Seedling, all social tests are at -10 because it's going to be pissing with rain and everyone's miserable.
Well, that makes sense. All the undead are about to show up.
Yeah, exactly.
The rain's about to be the least of their issues.
Indeed. But they may be too busy moaning about the rain to save their life. Snarf, snarf, snarf. Well done, gentlemen, for not dying or getting into too much trouble. You managed to avoid stuff.
Fine.
Yeah, you managed to avoid lots of undead. I mean, there's a whole lot of combat encounters in here. I was actually expecting today could have been 50% combat encounter if you decided to slowly wade your way through the undead. But I'm sort of relieved you didn't, because that means you didn't have to fight them all.
45 of them, we'd have been fucking dead by the end of
Yeah,
it.
well,
Now-
you've got to
now it's
roll
just
less
that
on the
group.
dice. I mean, there are loads of zombies, but they're also shit. So that's zombies. But also, yeah, there's lots of them. And then there's the living people who are around a fire currently and chilling. So, yeah, but you did good. You got info. You did stuff and things. Well, I
Almost
feel
got
like a job
smited.
well done. Yeah, you nearly got smited twice. Wow. That was rough. We'll have to remove that sin point, eh?
Yeah.
That's probably a thing we should. That's a thing we should talk about, probably.
I can't believe I almost rolled a natural 1 on it and would have still been set on fire or something stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might have been worth it, but who knows? But well done, players. Viewers, you're all amazing. So, I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the foosball.
Ah.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Later.